should be live. Let's actually go check that real quick. I would love to. Oh, oh, I think we're rocking and rolling, people. Let's check my audio. Oh, hell yes, we are. We're rocking and rolling. Okay, I wanted to check that right quick. Week's been rough. Got sick, but at present it's streaming Tuesday Variety, Thursday Higurashi, depending on my CLOL schedule. Friday is Variety slash League, and Saturday, Sunday is CLOL. Just wanted to share my scheduling as it's been going around. Okay, okay. Let me open up my. Well, actually, first off, let me get rid of this echo. I saw you echo, 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 echo in my mind. Anyone wants to. Try to schedule it around my meals. Streaming some Higurashi. Sorry, y'all. Gotta do the whole. Y'all know the whole shebang. Excellent. That's probably a very niche reference to something I don't understand, which is fine. Let's see. Guys, it's not that bad. Calm down. 3 cents! 3 cents for CSGO knives, bro. Do not hold. Whatever you do, do not hold. You gotta just get rid of them all. Higu time. I'm live. Yippee. Alright, where else do I show this shit? Glipton, I think that's it. And then we can get this bitch started. At stream Higu Thursdays. 2 weeks since the last one. Apologies for that, by the way. That's my bad. Not on social media. Yes. Okay, I'm getting grilled about how I run my stream. Oh, man. Okay, so. Oh, what was I gonna do? I want to see if I can get this on a little sidebar in the little black bars when Higu's open. Let's see if I can do that right quick. I think that'd be interesting to see. That would also give us a little bit of chirping in our background. Know what you're in for. Okay, let's see if I can do that, because having chat right here so I don't have to have it open on my phone would be a fucking godsend. Let's see. Can I, like, pull this out? I can't alt-tab to just this. Can I, like, move? Oh, well, that doesn't fucking help. Restore, minimize, maximize. Huh. I should find out how to... Chat, does anybody know how I get fucking chat out? Huh. How to get my Twitch chat on screen. please and thank you. Overlay chat widget. Okay? That's on stream elements. I don't know how to do stream elements. That's a lot. Okay, you know what? We're not going to worry about that right now. We have old reliable, and we will continue with old reliable at the end of the day. That's just going to be how it do, and do how it be. Skababa, dabooba, dababa, dabi. I have a chat message. I wouldn't know. I appreciate the help and graph. I'll figure it out eventually, maybe off stream before I hop on CLOL next time around. Although that one will have a 5-minute delay, so that won't be the best way to test that out. I don't know. Doesn't exactly matter. I'm opening up my settings right quick so that I can just keep my phone open. Let me know how the audio is. I had to change a bunch of audio stuff because over the weekend, actually, I was doing the observation and spectating for my university's League of Legends team. There's the never. So I had to change some settings for that, try to switch some stuff around and see how everything worked out. Alright, but we are going to be continuing on with Higurashi 4 today. This is going to be a bit of a smaller stream. I'm still a little sick. I'm not sure if it's coming through, but that's why there wasn't a stream last week or Tuesday. I'm on the bright side of it now, but things are still feeling a little rough for me. So I might only be here for like 3 hours, as compared to a usual like 4.5. Let's. No. I need to press continue. No. Let me out. Whoops. We almost start from the beginning. That would not have been fun. Imagine we just spend an hour here just clicking through stuff like, yeah. We've been here already. What we're doing. Okay, we ended at the end of chapter 4. So we could probably hit like chapter 7 or 8 and then just go through the rest of this episode next week. That sound fair? Let's see how short these episodes are, because I do distinctly remember the episodes being pretty slow last week. So, I'm going to load in, but while we're getting that set up, let's do a small recap. So, episode 4 is an interesting one, because we're not actually playing as Keiichi, and right now it's happening in a flashback before we even move to town, which is very interesting. Restart streaming without any prep at all. Without any of the fancy overlays and junk. Bam, 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 ba da ba da ba down. This is true advice. This goes for anybody that wants to really start streaming. It is definitely easier than it sounds, especially if you're one of those people that talks to themselves very often. I'm one to talk myself through just how I think about stuff. So it does come pretty naturally to me. Now, for the visual novel, that's not exactly coming through a lot because I'm just reading. But in my day-to-day, I'm talking to myself pretty frequently. Definitely makes life pretty easy. Yeah, I stream. Community Steam broadcast. Now that's fire. So we're playing as some fuck-ass detective who gets sent out to investigate the kidnapping of some kid, actually. And at the end of last episode, we have successfully saved said kid. But this happens before the first set of murders of the Wadnagashi festivals. The fucking bullshit. So those are probably going to happen while we're still here. While we're still investigating the kid and whatnot. And we're going to have a bunch of shit going on. Recording setup. Stable internet. Stream, that's interesting. Learn how to edit. Oh, that's some good-ass mac and cheese. Hey, Peaky, welcome back. Oh, sorry this has been taking so long. I've been taking a second to drink my tea before I've been getting started. I've been a little sick, so I've been trying to take it easy, take it slow. But we should probably get this started. So we ended Chapter 4 2 weeks ago. So let's keep it going. This is going to be a shorter stream, like the title says. I'm still a bit under the weather. Did we do these tips? I believe that we did. Very kind person. Yes, we did. We talked about the motherfucker, our guy that I forgot his name because it's been 2 weeks. But our detective guy. We did a good job last week. We saved some kid. We won a fight thanks to our incredible cleverness and whatnot. But now let's just get started. That was my first time losing consciousness. I have never lost consciousness. Not like outside of sleep. I've never been knocked out or like put under for anesthesia or anything. So I'd imagine it's actually a very unique experience. You often hear of regaining consciousness on top of a bed. This is my first time actually experiencing it.
もしもし
You will definitely end the episode today. Really? It's a short one? Okay, that's actually kind of nice, actually. Because the past couple have been very, very long. This actually moves my time schedule up. I was expecting to end Higurashi like at the very tail end of the year, like close to Christmas. So if this one's short and a couple of the other ones aren't as long, then I might actually end closer to mid-November, which is perfect. Hello, there's my goat. I love this guy. He's great.
大丈夫ですか
You okay? Realizing I was awake, a young doctor called out to me. I didn't intend to respond, but it seems my body language had told him I was conscious. My head was wrapped in bandages. Scratches over my body had also been treated. My sense of pain was also returned my consciousness, causing me to groan from the intense pain shooting without me. Episode 5 more than makes up for it. Very excited to hear that. This episode has definitely been very strange and off-kilter, but I do appreciate it for what background we're getting on the town. And it is lending more credence to my theory that I'm still going with. I've done some thinking, and I'm 100% sure it's a conspiracy of some kind. And the step thing from episode 3 was, I'd assume Mion, but there's a chance it was Reina, kind of going with our wishes and recognizing when we had antagonism towards people and killing them. That's my going theory. And it associates with episode 2 as well, and it kind of ties everything together. And then the other magic shit is a coincidence, just completely.
起きないで横になっていてください頭をだいぶ殴られたようですからね24時間は僕に安静にして容体をここ
Where is this? Yeah, we're Eika Seika, the Mahjong prodigy. Okay. Chat. Is Tuesday's stream gonna be a Mahjong stream? Is that what we want? Because I said it before, and I'm actually very tempted to go about it. Jads was talking about Mahjong earlier today, even. And it kind of does make me want to... Voice acting's way too loud. Okay, that's interesting. That is probably due to my full audio settings of my desktop audios, my bet. I had to change a bunch of my stuff and full mute everything. So let me take this down to like here. And we'll go a line and let me know how this one is.
私の診療所です
This is my clinic.
入江と申
Pleased
し
to
ま
meet you.
す
My name is Irie.
よろしく
Yeah, just let me know how that one is in comparison. If that's still too loud, I'll turn down the actual game volume. I remember that this young doctor was the one. The car headed the opposite way earlier.
誰か
Is there
い
somebody?
ませんか大石さんは
Where is Oishi?
あ
Oh,
呼んでき
come over.
診療所の
There's
中
no
は
smoke
禁
in the
煙なん
clinic,
で
so I didn't smoke outside.
表で吸ってもらってるんです
Dr. Irie left the room to call Oishi. Still too loud? Gotcha. Let's... Voice volume's already pretty loud. We can put it down like this much and then take it out. The scenery outside the window was tinted with gold. The pouring rain had stopped with the voices of the Higurashi heralding the cooler temperature. I felt that the tone of the Higurashi voices was comforting. Eventually I could hear heavy footsteps coming closer, which I reckon to be Oishi. The fog that was enveloping my head faded back to reality. What had happened since then? What had happened to the boy? What about the reinforcements from Tokyo? The door to the room flew open, allowing Irie and Oishi to enter.
じゃあ命に別状はないんでしょ
So there's no serious damage, is there?
ないと
I can't
俺
promise
頭
that.
に受けた
I
傷
assessed
は
the one whose head was
初見
dangerous
だ
the
けで
moment I
は
saw it.
判断が聞け
わかりました
I got
ちょ
it,
っと彼と二
Well,
人で
we'll
話
chat
が
alone
し
with
たい
him
ん
for a
で
bit. Would you mind?
ええどうぞ
Yeah, go ahead. Call me if
何
you
か
have
あ
an
りま
app
し
for
た
that.
らお呼びください
They're very casual about this, but they should be. They're cops. It's kind of their big. Wishi, after forcing Irie outside, shut the door.
いかがですか
How you feeling? Did something I'm not
慣れない
used
こと
to,
を
so
した
I'm pretty banged up all over.
全身がぼ
Wishi brought over a folding chair, was leaning against the wall, and sat down inside the
犯
bed.
人たちは
Were the perps
逮
arrested?
捕されましたか
残念ながら
Unfortunately, no.
とっくに県
They
外へ
probably
逃
already
げた
fled
か
the prefecture
村
or
人
being
に
hidden
か
by the
く
villagers.
な
Well, we won't let him get away. What about the minister's grandson? They're taking care of him at the station. She calls him Tokyo, insistent that nothing can be recorded.
しげちゃんが憤
Shiga
慨して
doesn't
まし
like
たっ
that
け
too much. The kidnapping was confidential, so his custody was also being kept under wraps. How the kidnapping of the minister's grandson be handled, how it be covered up, treated like it never happened, that's for the brass to take care of. If it ended without the nation going into an uproar about it, our job was done. Possibility the minister would negotiate with the perps could not be ruled out, though. But something like that, no longer my concern. My role in this case was over. I'm sorry for the trouble. You must think the public safety is an unseemly place, don't you?
思いません
No,
ことは
no.
ない
We all work on the
日の
government's
丸から
dime.
給金もらって仕事してるだけ
Oishi
で
left
すよ
boisterously. When we first met, I was somewhat prejudiced against Oishi, but now that feeling was gone completely.
今回の事
It'd be
件
more convenient for us
隠
if it
さ
was
ないで
handled
大
properly
元にし
instead
て
of being
そう
hidden
すれ
away.
ば
That happened,
黒幕
we'd
の
have something to go
園
with the
崎本家に
Sonozakis with,
少しは
since they were
迫ま
behind
れるん
everything,
で
of
す
course.
から
Well, if we
適
start
当に
poking
迫
around,
っ
we'll
た
get
とこ
pressure
ろ
put
で
on us.
圧力がかかるん
What's
で
your
しょう
opinion on
ね
Oishi? Okay. Oishi is my fucking goat. I love this guy. For a lot of reasons. I love how he double speaks a lot. I love how he's pretty much the only one that's still really digging at the Sonozakis to try to find the murderers in the real episodes. I love that he's really hard on the kids because they're the missing link for him, you know? And they are very intimately related, goodness fucking gracious, to the murders in every timeline. So he's definitely on to something. He's scary, but he's great. He also laughs like I do a lot. It's like kind of in the back of his throat, so I can appreciate that quite a bit. You hate him? I will say, Oishi is one of those characters where you're made to not have neutral feelings on him. Everybody has an opinion on this motherfucker. Oh, what a mess.
大石さんは
You gonna continue
そ
to
の
fight
先本
against
家
the
に
Sonozakis
今
after
後も
this?
戦いを
まさか
Nah.
いろいろと
There's all
黒い
sorts of
噂
dark
こそ
rumors
絶えま
thrown
せん
about
が
him,
ね
but it's not like I have a personal
この
grudge.
家に恨みがあるわけじゃありません
Ooh, I wonder if that's foreshadowing, because we know that in the present day, he does keep chasing them down.
瀕死
It'd be
危う
wise
き
not to step on any
に
toes
ね
here. Oh, Oishi laughed happily. I couldn't help but laugh
あそう
along.
だそうだ
Oh,
さっ
that's
き
right.
県
There
警
was
から
one
署に連
station
絡
from
があ
the
ったさ
prefecture
あなた
police.
のご同僚が名古屋に到着したそう
They're driving up
で
right now.
あなたは名誉の負
Got
傷
your
で
battle
すから
scars, so you're being recalled to
故郷
Tokyo.
そんなわけです
That's how it's shaken up. Good
あ
job.
なたの
Your
沖
work
宮
in
で
Okinawa
の仕事
safely
は
over.
無事終
I was
了
being recalled to Tokyo. I inadvertently breathed a sigh of relief when I heard those words. Whew. Deeply thankful for your
大
cooperation,
石
Oishi.
さんあなたに支払った協
Seems
力
the
金は
collaboration fee I paid you did
無駄
not
に
go
は
to
なりま
waste.
せんでしたね
あら冗
kind
談
of
の
meant
つも
that
り
as
だ
a
った
joke,
んだけどな
Oishi took out his wallet, pulled out several large bills, and jammed them into the breast pocket of my shirt. This is why he's the GOAT, bro. He's honorable and amazing. He's an asshole, but he's the best asshole you'll
これ
ever
は
meet.
協
This ain't a
力金の
refund
返
of the
済
fee.
私からあなたへのお小遣いは地酒がうまい東京へのお土
Just
産
buy
に
yourself a little
おいで
souvenir.
買っていくといいでしょ
He
う
flashed me a
もし
grin.
も
If your
あな
injuries
たの
turn out
傷
to
が
not
軽
be
い
too
ようなら
serious, call me before you
東
head
京
back.
おやじさんも佐
The
藤
old
さ
man
ん
in
も
sawdust I'd like to
ぜ
sit
ひ
down
あ
and
な
say
た
it
と
with
も
you
う一
again.
やれやれ
Oh my. Can't refuse that, can I?
今度はこっち
And
も
no
小
tricks
ざ
this
純
time,
粋
alright?
に
Just
楽
some
しもう
plain
じゃな
old
いか
fun.
よく言いますよ
They always say
現
that.
職の警官
This
が
world is
あ
done
んな
for
に
if an
恋
active
様が
officer
で
can
きる
cheat
の
that blatantly.
私ども
It's
と
not
ね
often we meet someone
配
who's
当
more
以
of a
上
match
に
for us.
あな
You
た
know?
が東京に帰るのが惜しい
When I
で
heard the
す
words
よ
go back from Tokyo, I was reminded once again I was relieved from duty. You've hated him since episode 1. Episode 1 definitely gives you more reason to hate him, but he's been growing on me the entire time. He's always been a bit of a personal favorite of mine, even though the story kind of wants you to hate him. Mostly just because of that laugh. It's very infectious. I do adore it. But he's definitely been growing on me, in this scene especially. He's he's good at his job, you know. He does what he does. He's a nice guy. Okay, he's not a nice guy. He's a fucking asshole. But he's the best asshole you'll ever meet. I'm gonna have to finish this and make like a 2-hour video essay on why Oishi's the best character in fiction. White men don't make fan fiction anymore. They make 2-hour video essays with titles like, "This character you've never heard of is amazing, and here's why." Soon, Yuki will be given birth. Might still be possible to attend the delivery ad once I'm given up on. When I thought that, the pain of my injuries became trivial. I wanted to hurry back to Tokyo and see her at once.
少し
Can you
絆を
pretend
思
your
いふり
injuries are
を
a
し
bit
て
more serious and
大
hang
き
around for a
い
bit?
お
I
店
can
を
introduce you
い
to some
ろい
nice
ろ
places.
もちろん
Of course, I will make you
おご
pay
れ
for
なんだ
everything. Oh no. Hey, it might drop on the YouTube. I don't know how video editing works, so it might be Google Slides and just a recording of the whole thing, including pauses. But that would be fire in its own way, you know?
申
terribly sorry, but I'll have to take a rain check. My wife's due to give birth any day. I want to hurry back. Oh my, oh my. I didn't know that. Then you shouldn't be hanging around. You gotta hurry back. For a while after that, he asked all sorts of questions about my wife, teasing and bantering with me. As he should. Well then, how'd you feel? Think you can get up? Yeah, it ain't so bad, thanks to you. I can get up and walk, no problem. I stood up and shuffled around for a bit, which seemed to amuse Uishi. Nah, I just thought you might not feel comfortable in the hospital with young Zawa, you know? Irie said he wanted you to stay overnight, but we haven't caught the perps. For the time being, this is enemy territory for you after all. Are you saying the hospital isn't safe? Well, Irie is well regarded in the community, you know? I don't think anything will happen while you're here, but I'm more worried about your mental health. I'd relax a bit now that things have progressed this far, but it was exactly as he said, you know? This was enemy territory. I felt uncomfortable. With leaving being the only thing left for me to do, the chance that I would come to harm was logically pretty low, but it didn't mean I was safe. And that's the end of my tea. I've got this fall-themed Snoopy mug with Snoopy kicking football, a hand egg, directly into Woodstock and fucking annihilating him. It's kind of wonderful. This thing is massive, by the way. I have an electric kettle that's not too big. But it's pretty big, you know? A normal-sized teacup uses about half the water in it. This thing takes up every speck of water in that kettle. It's great. There's so much tea in that shit. Well, I'm just gonna be lying down. Doing a hotel bed won't be all that different, you know? Yeah, you're right. I also think that's for the best. That moment, I caught a glimpse of the clock over Uishi's shoulder. It was the evening. The hours when I could call Yuki at the hospital were almost over. I want to tell her as quick as possible I'd be back at her side. I want to call her at the hospital. Is there a public phone in the lobby? You're all like this. If I recall correctly, there's one by the register. I'll be waiting here, so go ahead, alright? He laughed and said he was jealous, opened up the window and pulled out a cigarette, even though he was still in the hospital room. Appreciative of how considerate he was. I went out to the lobby to find the phone. The lobby was a short distance down the hall from the hospital room. I don't like that the music stopped, but I adore this thing. This is amazing. I don't know what it's supposed to be, but I love it. I thought this hospital was a bit too grand for a village like this, but of course it wasn't compared to the general hospital Yuki was admitted to. Run inside hospital wasn't the best of manners, but calling hours would end, so I dashed right over. There was no one else in the lobby. May have been the evening, but nobody was at the reception either. Well, might actually be lucky for me. Wasn't planning to have a conversation to feel guilty about, but it'd still be embarrassing to have someone listen to the conversation, you know? Taking a look around, I found the payphone. Digging around my pockets, I grabbed some coins. I was calling Tokyo, so I'd burn through this pretty quick. Picked up the receiver, inserted a coin, dialed the number for the hospital, which I'd memorized at this point. The number for the hospital had a lot of 8s and 9s, so dialing it in took some time. Normally it wouldn't be a big deal, but currently, time's precious. However, something was strange as I was dialing the number. Don't know exactly how to put it, but it was as if the receiver was too quiet. That unique white noise on the telephone line wasn't there. Huh. Somehow I felt like I wasn't getting any feedback from the phone. Without feeling a response, I hung up the receiver to try one more time. I played without the mod, so I never saw the background stuff. Yeah, I have a monitor with some funky resolution settings on it, so without the mod, Higurashi ended up as a tiny window like this big. And my eyes are not great. I just couldn't read the text on it, you know? The mod doesn't help me out all the way, but it does put it up to 1920, 1080 for me. So I still have black bars on my sides, but the text is way bigger and more clear. All the extra stuff is also pretty nice, I will say. It feels like a more definitive experience. The coin popped out from the return slot. I reinserted and began dialing once again, but it was still dead silent. What is this? Is it disconnected? Well, I was wasting time like this. The amount I had to spend taking with Yuki, it was starting to shrink. Began to feel needlessly impatient. Excuse me. I felt the presence of someone on the other side of the glass, so I called out. There was an immediate response, and it made it seem like a pharmacist came in. Yeah, how can I help you? Pardon me, this phone seems to be acting a little strange. Could you take a look at it? He came over and tried testing things with the receiver pressed to his ear. Now think of it, this was someone who worked at the hospital, not the phone company. Just I didn't know about phones, he wouldn't either. Huh, what's this? He held up the cord that connected the phone to the wall. It was severed. Oh, shit. Heck is that? Well, it's a dilly of a pickle. Okay, no innocent person says this, bro. We're gonna die to this motherfucker. He's the true villain. Can't do anything with this till someone from the phone company comes and fixes it. If you're looking for a phone, you want to use the one in the office? I didn't want the people in the hospital office around while I was talking. Is there
近所に
another one
公衆
close by? Let's see. If you leave here, follow the road, and
こ
come
こ
to
で
the shopping
そこの
district.
ど
There's
こ
a
かの
smoke shop
角
in the
の
corner
行
around
け
there.
ば見つけ
Right
られ
that
る
way,
と
there
思い
should
ま
be
す
one
よ。
soon enough. I was dressed in a hospital gown, though, wearing sandals on my feet. Head was wrapped in bandages. Looking at me, you could tell I was a patient. Matter how you looked at it, I was not dressed to be wandering outside. But that's where the impetuousness of youth came in. That is a good word that I've never heard before in my goddamn life. Impetuousness is the quality or fact of doing things suddenly without considering the results of your actions. That is a good-ass word. Choosing the chance to talk to Yuki for even a little longer, I headed outside my current state. Follow the road to the shopping district. Should be able to find one soon enough. With only those 2 lines in my guide, I ran outside the gates of the hospital. This is a trap. With the village nestled in a valley, when the sun set, it got dark pretty quick. Sparse streetlights lit up just enough to start attracting moths. The higurashi, knowing the time for their course was soon to close, redoubled their fragile cries. Finding the payphone was not as easy as the person in the hospital had suggested. Was it still ahead? Did I miss it already? I might have just been getting further away. Just as I was about to be crushed by the wave of uncertainty towering over me, I found a shop on the corner of cigarettes written on a small sign. My joy spurred me onward. Just as I had heard of the hospital, next to the counter of the cigarette shop was an antiquated payphone. I was not wearing a watch, so I didn't know what time it was. Didn't have much time left, though. But it was enough. As long as I could tell her my job was done, I'd be coming home. Picking up the receiver, I slid a coin down the slot. But I felt something was strange, just like the hospital. Even after inserting the coin, the phone showed no response. I hung up the receiver and tried putting the coin one more time. No response. This phone was dead. Oh, fuck. Thinking that, I felt along the cord that protruded from the back of the phone. And doing that, my hands found the end of a completely severed line. What is this? Having now had the same thing happen twice, my bafflement was accompanied by a sense of unease. It seemed the cord had been severed cleanly by a sharp blade of some sort. It may have been mistaken, but it didn't look like much time had passed since it was cut. Excuse me. Hello? Opening up the booth window of the shop, I look for someone in the dimly lit interior. I hate that I understand what's happening. Aww. Fuck. That's a little worrying, ain't it, Graf? But yeah, I wholly entirely agree. Speaking of wholly and entirely agreeing with things, I have to show that I'm watching my own stream. It's for the algorithm. I'm going to make an assumption that it's actually the Knights of the Watsunagashi, and we never actually found out what day it would be because we were off doing our own bullshit. Open up the booth window, look for someone in the dimly lit interior. Eventually there were the sounds of someone plodding down the stairs, and an old lady showed up. Her plodding lethargic steps only served to make me more frantic. Need some cigs? Get to my husband.
タバコを買いたいわけじゃないんです。
Rather, this
この
phone.
電話が
Realizing saying the phone was broken and asked them to take a look at it was going to get me nowhere, so I backed once. Sorry, it seems this phone is
こ
broken.
の
I
電
was
話
wondering
が
if you could tell
壊
me
れてるみたい
where
なの
there's
で
another one.
別の
The
公衆
old
電
lady
話があ
moved
る
her
ところ
jaw
を
up and down
教
slowly,
えてもらいたい
chewing
の
on
で
the
すが
meaning of my words. Seems she wouldn't understand until she had digested things thoroughly. That's a neat double meaning. So the phone is broken. That's a dilly of a pickle. Oh, god damn it. You should try another payphone. The old lady directed me to another one that seemed quite a ways away. Her way of telling me was so long-winded that I started getting impatient. That moment, I spotted a clock in the dim interior of the store. The minute hand was just about to point straight up. Even if there was a phone right here, I'd only be able to tell Yuki goodnight with the time I had left. On top of that, my destination was a remote payphone where I didn't know the distance. If I was in a normal state of mind, deciding to get both on the phone today would have been the natural thought process. But at that moment, I had become somewhat stubborn for some reason. God, you're a fucking idiot, Akaseki. Unable to use the phone in the hospital, coming out here and still being unable to use one. No mistaken, I was insistent on using the phone.
どうも
Thank
あ
you
りがと
much.
う。その電話ボッ
I'll
クス
try to look for that phone booth, eh?
探してみます。
Refusing her offer to draw me a map, I left the shop. I need to open up my vitamin gummies right quick. Fucking person in a hospital gown, walking from phone to phone. And every single person in town is going to tell him, I don't know. Seems like a bit of a dilly of a pickle to me. Yeah, this is a horror movie plot for both people involved, bro. It's crazy. According to the old lady, even though the phone booth was pretty far away, it would be easy to find. If I just followed the road straight down, I'd find it eventually. Sandals flapping as I ran, couldn't help but laugh at myself. I mean, I was steadfast about calling Yuki. There were days when I was tired or busy when I wouldn't call her. Even today, my body was covered in injuries, and I was dead tired. On top of that, there wasn't time left for the most part. It wouldn't be strange at all if today was one of those days I didn't call her. But having twice been foiled, had I become hot-headed? Of course. Was I like a dog who's being told to stay with a piece of food dangled in my face?
何やってんだろう
What the hell
な。
am I doing? Even so, I couldn't quell the uneasy feeling sitting in the pit of my stomach. was like that with the hospital phone, the same with the one in the shop. Both cords were not severed from being frayed by years of use. The clean cuts indicated that someone had taken something sharp and deliberately cut them. But who, and for what purpose? If you squint a bit, Higurashi actually becomes a comedy. Higurashi has always been a comedy. Maybe not episode 3, but every other episode has been pretty fucking funny, I will say. The imagery of episode 1, where I'm standing up and pantomiming this, so for your reference. You're walking down the street, and Reina's sitting, like, staring you dead in the face. She's got the fucking hatchet, and for 200 to 400 lines of text, she's kind of just, like, walking around with you, and she's like, what are you walking away for, man? There's nothing to worry about. And it just, like, keeps going, and he's like, I don't know. I trust you about as far as I can throw you. And she's like, no, it's all good. It's all good. He's like, no, I'm not falling for this one. She's like, yo, you're going to fall for it. Just that for, like, it goes on for so long, it's fucking ridiculous. It's like a silent movie sketch. I'd watch a silent film where that's the bit. Some Scooby-Doo ass nonsense. It's great. The more I thought about it, the more uneasy I felt. So I tried to push the thought aside. How much did I run so far? The scenery around me was no longer that of a shopping district, with residential buildings scattered about the lonely road. Surroundings had already grown dark. I was blatantly out too far for a quick phone call, and it was pretty obvious I was removed from the hospital. I recalled the clock I saw at the shop. Might almost be time. I'd run for quite a bit, so my breathing was ragged. If I just wanted to hear her voice, I should have just thrown away my reservations, borrowed the phone in the office. I was regretting it a little bit. Well then, was it about time to give up? Just when I thought that, I saw the light in the distance. I'd found it! That's the phone booth. It seemed the light in the phone booth had recently been changed, that it shone vividly with a white light. Although in the gloom of Hinamizawa is nothing more than a gathering spot for moths. That's probably some, like, very vivid visual metaphor. But in any case, I'd finally found it. As my hand touched the door of the phone booth, I realized I was breathing and sweating pretty hard. I didn't know what time it was right now, but even if it was just for a moment, I might be able to get in touch with her. Since I spent all this effort getting here, turning back without giving it a try was out of the question. Before I picked up the receiver, another wave of uneasiness washed over me. I was worried this phone cord might be severed as well. How was the cord in this phone booth? Squatting down, followed the bundle of cables. They ran along the corner of the ceiling, and at a glance, nothing was out of the ordinary. Run my fingers as far as I could along the line, check it out. The only thing they found was a thick layer of dust. Nothing out of the ordinary. We won, baby. Woohoo! I wonder if it was popular in Namizawa to cut the cords of payphones as a tasteless prank. Might be prudent to talk to Uishi about this later. If it was nothing more than a prank, it was vandalism of public property, you know? It's kind of a dick move. In any case, this one was fine. Pulling out a coin from my pocket with one hand, I picked up the receiver with the other. But this time, before the receiver even reached my ear, I felt something was off. The receiver was light. It was more than a slightly unpleasant feeling. It was sickening. To verify the source of my displeasure, I peered at the receiver in my hand with a measure of reluctance. What the hell is this? The coiled cord that was connected to the receiver to the rest of the phone had been ripped apart, the tip of the cable swaying in the air. It was all I could do to restrain myself as a raw and unpleasant feeling worked its way up the small of my back. It was a type of dread. At that moment, I heard the crunch of somebody stepping on gravel. The light was reflecting off the glass walls of the booth, leaving me unable to see outside into the darkness. I steeled myself and stepped out of the booth. The inside of the booth was lit with that strong light, which might have made it warmer in there. Just stepping outside, I could feel a chill. And there was the silhouette of a person. A small silhouette. The long hair of that silhouette was blown out about by the cool breeze. Rika! Injured people shouldn't be sneaking out of the hospital. Dumbass. Okay. Rika's goated, but and I think she's adorable, but she's probably third of the four for me, I will say. I hate to be that guy. I love Meep. Everyone loves a little Meepa in their day-to-day. But I don't know. She needs to grow on me a little bit. We haven't had a lot of time with her. So in my head, I knew who this girl was. Didn't have any basis for it, but I knew she was that girl. Right? Akasaka. It's Akasaka. I'm still going to call him Akasaka. She, Rika Furude, said that almost like it was a warning. Did you do this to the phone cord? Her expression remained unchanged. My question was left unanswered. In other words, no response. Thank you. I needed that extra clarification. Regardless, I felt that she had affirmed my suspicions. Why would you do something like this? Why? Last word had a tinge of anger behind it. I frantically tried to smooth things out, but she didn't seem very afraid. There's nothing that can be done. What? I interpreted her words as meaning I wasn't going to be in time for calling hours at the hospital. But thinking about it, that would be a really strange thing to say. Why would she know? I could take what she had said to have literally any other meaning. She stood there like a mannequin, not moving an inch. Almost to the point that if the wind wasn't rustling through her long hair, there would be the illusion that time had stopped. I know very well you think I'm creepy, Akaseka. No, that's not true. No. My denial came out almost like a bad piece composed for a poetry slam. But her words were right on the mark. What the fuck are you talking about, Ryukishi? I always felt something ominous and uncanny about her. Ever since her strange threats at the shrine. The most evil 8-year-old you'll ever meet. Look at this evil. She's gonna fuck you up. She knows my expression was contrary to my words, seemingly laughing at the gap between us. Akaseka, you coward. I'm not a coward. Being laughed at by a small child wasn't sitting well with me. So I said that. Even if you find another phone, it's too late. That's right. She didn't even have to say it. I was absolutely too late. I've already missed calling hours by the time I reached the phone booth. It was too late. I had no option but to give up for the day. Once I decided on that, my unhealthy obsession with phones started to fade. Even I thought it was strange that I was this obsessed for a bit. The obsession now gone, I was laughing how hopeless I was. I mean, look at what I was wearing, man. It's just not normal. Hospital gowns, sandals, my head in bandages, my body soaked in sweat. It was a wonder the old lady at the tobacco shop wasn't that surprised to see me. It's because she knew you were coming, bro. That's what I'm saying, Graph. I need to, find out how to replicate that expression in my day-to-day. Because pulling that shit is gold. It is It is immaculate. Alright. With wanting to hear Yuki's voice as my motive, I had traipsed around the town the entire evening. That's another great word. I didn't know whether to call it the follies of youth or just plain embarrassing. In any case, it was all I could do to laugh at myself. Now, there's nothing left for you to do tonight. Yeah, you're right. There's nothing. I'll just return to the hospital. That's fine. Do you know the way? I hope I do. She waved her little hand as I headed back the way I came. She began to follow alongside me. That's actually pretty nice, because I wouldn't know where I'd been. Looking at her face, I could see she wore a mischievous smile, as if she was extremely interested in whether or not I get lost. Is Rika's house also this way? It is. Won't your parents be mad you're walking around alone at this hour? Not really. My parents are busy today, so they forgot about me. Even then, especially if you head on home, alright? They'll be angry. Even if they are, it's more interesting to talk with you, so I'm fine. Still, with her face free from worry, she looked up at me once more and smiled. This is a good expression. When she showed me that smile, the eerie feeling surrounding her faded. But even then, she was just as mysterious as she ever was. Same as it ever was. We arrived at the corner I had turned at earlier, but it was much darker than before. And with the point of view changed in the return trip, I wasn't confident this was actually the corner I turned at. There's no mistake, though. It had to be this one. As I began to move my feet again, she grabbed my clothes. Jesus! Fuck! Back off! Oh my god. God damn it, dude. Great parents, that's what I'm saying. Isn't Akaseka going back to the hospital? Of course, at least I intend to. Am I going the wrong way? A short moment of silence. Eventually, still holding my clothes, she began to walk. It was the beginning of the walk to the hospital this mysterious girl would take me on. Is that our chapter break? Because this chapter is super short if so. I'd assume that it's just a scene break and we're going to come back to it. And I am correct. The person who's running around cutting all the phone cords was you, wasn't it, Rika? You shouldn't do that anymore, alright? Jesus! Back off! I'm not sure what you're talking about. Really? She tried to play dumb, but it was written all over her face. Yeah, I can see it. It was obvious she was trying to laugh it off, but that adorable smiles of hers just made me want to forgive her. Oh, I'm gonna be a horrible father. That momentary lapse in tension was erased by her next words. It's good they found the grandson safe and sound. Unable to respond right away, I sunk into silence. I learned this from Sada's info, didn't I? This girl, the entire village, knew everything since the moment I set foot. I considered playing dumb for a bit, but in the end, I chose not to. If everyone known already, no point in me feigning ignorance here. Somehow. That's great! Now I can go back to Tokyo. Uh-oh. Thank you. Are your injuries bad? Dunno, I haven't heard anything from the doctor yet, so I don't know if they are or not. Don't think of it. I remember being told to lie down and take it easy for 24 hours. Does that mean bed rest? The wounded shouldn't be sneaking out of the hospital, you know? People should be cutting phone cords. Meep. How do you like that one, dumbass? I have no idea what you're talking about. Then I don't know what you're talking about. As we played dumb with each other, we both laughed at the same time. If someone saw us laughing at each other like this, it would bring a smile to their lips. It's bring a smile to mine, let me tell you. The chances of Akasaka leaving this village alive weren't very high. Huh? I don't want you to die, so I'm glad you're leaving alive. Rika? You knew who I was from the beginning. You said nothing, but gave a pretty firm nod. Well, I think you know this, but we're somewhat of an enemy to the people in this village, but you still gave me lots of warnings. That's right, she said at the time she wouldn't warn somebody that she was okay with dying. She definitely said something like that. Then, I should be thanking you. You probably should. I'm your savior. Saying that, she puffed up her chest. She said it jokingly, but the meaning behind the words was pretty heavy. That was because whether I lived or died was a decision that might have been made in a place unbeknownst to me. She said those words with such an adorable smile. It took a moment of silence for the weight to settle. I've been to this place before. The Guardian's office was here. It was the stone steps leading up to the shrine. When I passed by before, I was focused on finding a phone booth. I didn't realize where I was. If I recall correctly, this shrine's your house, right? Yeah, something like that. Looking up at the grounds, it was pretty brightly lit, and energetic voices could be heard. What the hell was going on? There's a festival today. I will take my called it award with direct shipping, if you'd please. A festival. The best and only festival in Hinamizawa. The Watsunagashi. Watsunagashi? Cotton drifting? Just know the name is boring. Do you want to take a look? She asked pretty bluntly. But seeing that I looked interested, she climbed up some steps and motioned for me to come along. I was only going to go back and sleep anyway. If I had nothing else to do. Might not be a bad idea to go on a little detour. Oh, it's going to get you killed, dumbass. In the hostile territory that was this village, I didn't know what would happen if I ventured down a side road without Oishi. Even though I thought of the village like that, when I was with this girl, I forgot all about it. In any case, even without anything to back it up, I felt that as long as I was with her, none of the ill will from the village could befall me. And that's probably a good call. That's why, even though I knew my cover was blown, I had no qualms about setting foot in the heart of Guardian's territory. Climbing up to the grounds of the shrine, I could see there were 3 pavilions set up with meeting tables and folding chairs. The old folks in the village, maybe the executives of the Guardians, were drunkenly sharing another round of drinks. I can only see it as people from the village council drinking while enjoying the evening air. At the very least, it was different than any festival I'd ever seen. See? It's a boring festival, isn't it? Doesn't look like one to me, yeah. It's a festival that's happened since long ago, but as you can see, it's not like it used to be. As if to chide the old folks, she said that while looking up at them with an exasperated expression. You really couldn't call this a festival anymore, could you? It was just a bunch of neighbors getting together to drink under the guise of a festival. I feel sorry for the deity being celebrated. Give this sorry excuse for a festival 5 or 6 more years, and everyone in the village will start coming. The ceremony will be done properly, and it'll be a respectable festival again. What she said was wishful thinking, as was the telling of a future that had been determined. She wasn't even predicting it. It was like she was reporting the facts. That's how it sounded. Even though it was baseless speculation, the way she said it would let me interject. And she is correct, which, to a fool, would give credence to the magic theory. Credence, apologies. Clearwater Revival. And they would say that Rika is in fact Oyashiro and is set up the first set of murders to reignite fucking passion in her festival. But I see this as it's part of the conspiracy, and the festival's there to take it off. It's a way to bank and redirect any kind of attention. It was the same way she talked when she changed. Yeah, that's bullshit. It's bait. It's a red herring. While I struggled to find the words to reply to her, she walked over to the other side of the grounds, not minding me at all. Not to say where I can afford to be left behind, I hurriedly followed after. Passing through the copse of pine trees, a strong and cool breeze ruffled my hair. There, from that one evening, was the splendid observation platform the girl had shown me. It is pretty. As it had grown completely dark, the modest lights that across the night sky were providing a different type of scenery.
こうして
Looking
眺
at it
め
like
る
this,
と
the village seems tranquil.
この村も
Just
の
that
ど
with
か
an
そうに見え
indifferent
ま
look
す
on
の
her
です
face.
君は先
Just
日
the
こ
other
の
day,
村
you
は
said this village
絶
wouldn't
対
be
にダムに
submerged by the
沈む
dam,
こと
didn't
は
you?
ないと
She didn't reply, seemingly
そう断
relishing
言
the
したね
feeling of the wind blowing through her hair. You know, my theory at this point was something entirely different. To the conspiracy or to the supernatural or both? Did you have a third option? That would be baller. Because right now, I really feel like the story is trying to present itself as a binary between the two options. So if there is a third option that has evidence going towards it, that's probably what it is, and everything else is a red herring. I'm still going to stick with my theory. I think that I haven't seen anything to disprove any of the pieces yet, but I'm willing to hear it.
あれは
Didn't that mean at this point in time the
あの時
minister
点で
had
も
already complied with the demands? She spun around, her gaze meeting mine, but she said nothing. She spoke nothing that would neither confirm nor deny what I just
多
said.
分
This case will remain
今
shrouded
回
in
の
darkness.
事件は闇から
Neither.
闇へ葬られる
Okay, Graf. I see. I see. I don't even know what could be neither. I don't know what the alternate theory could be. Unless it's some kind of, like, Keiichi-induced psychosis. Which is a possibility. But it's one that I took off the table pretty quick.
本庁上層部は
HQ probably doesn't
多分
want trouble from a
大臣の
scandal
ス
with
キャ
the
ンダル
minister
が
breaking
公
it.
さもないと
There's no mistake they threatened to kill the grandchild.
で
Then negotiations with the
大
minister
臣
were
との交
successful.
渉が
The
成
grandchild
功
was
し
released.
孫を
The
助
one
け
who
た
saved
の
the
は
grandson was you,
赤
though.
どうだろ
I wonder
う
about
発端
that.
となった
Discovery of that
あ
wall
の
was
財
part of
布
the
発
chain
見
of
あれ
events.
自体がす
That
でに
alone was too convenient,
で
I
き
think.
すぎだったように思う
Ever since the moment the wall was discovered, something was odd. Uishi said it as well. The Sonozakis gave the order to release the hostage, meaning our little manhunt was a farce. Come to think of it, I was punched and kicked and had a gun pointed at me. Felt like they put up a fight, but it was probably all part of a good performance. Once the negotiations were successful, they couldn't just say, "Here you go," and return the minister's grandchild to his doorstep. They knew public safety realized this was a kidnapping. They were moving in. So due to the actions of the safety, the grandson was able to be rescued safely. So Mr. didn't give in to an unreasonable demand, you know? That type of performance was pretty necessary, just to keep appearances.
僕には難し
I
いこ
don't
と
know
は
about
よ
all
く
these
わかり
difficult
同
things.
感
Calm
だ
down.
な
Likewise.
私にだって
Even for me, I can't make
難
sense
し
of
いだが
it. But there's one thing I can
一
be
つ
certain.
確実なことがある
お
君が言った通
It's just
り
as you
この
said.
村は
This village will not be
ダム
submerged.
計画なん
The
て
dam project will be over.
そのうちなくなってしまうって
That
こ
wasn't
とさ
something an officer of the law should be saying. Just normal psychotic episodes is my theory. I think that there is actually a bit of credence to that theory with the knowledge from the end of episode 3 that there is a bunch of explosive volcanic gas under the town. It might be that exposure to the gas in young people specifically, because young people are, who are all of our confirmed murderers so far, can lead to psychotic breaks. That would make a lot of sense. And the paranoid delusions could be part of the gas. So I'm down to clown with that theory. I'm going to stick with my conspiracy for now, but that's definitely going to be my backup. That definitely has... I'd give it a Clean Skirwater revival. I'd give it a... trying to think of a CCR song, and it slipped my mind. Which is a shame. I actually saw John Fogerty live last year. I should let those words slip from my mouth. The village may have stirred up all sorts of trouble, but that was because they were protecting their homes at the end of the day. If someone just decided by themselves that I had to leave the house I was used to living in, I'd resent them as well. On top of that, it wasn't a place like mine where I just happened to be renting it, but a place their families were living in for generations. Might be ignorant to call their desperate resistance an overreaction, you know? Might not really be qualified to criticize politics or bureaucracy, but deliberately building a dam on land that was loved by its residents. It's not something I can get behind.
でも
Still, ain't you glad?
よかったじゃないか
CG
どう
is
して
a
ですか
Why would that be?
少なくと
At
も
the
こ
very
れで
least, with this, peace will return to the
この
village.
村に平和が戻る
Even
よ
though the minister promised to use his considerable influence to cancel the project, it would take more than a few months before it could be completely scrapped at the end of the day. At the very least, it would take a year or two. For the villagers to hear the village wasn't going to be submerged to the bottom of a dam, it was a ways away. But it was no mistake that the promise of peace returned to the village was there. I had turned out from beginning to end, it was all decided. Just as the girl had said, it was already decided. There wasn't a need for me to come here in the first place. No need for me to come here and aggravate an unpleasant situation. If I'd never come here, then the grandson's release would have been done in a more amicable manner. Not even the gash, just the behavior of the adults driving him to the extreme, which is also the reason I didn't like Oishi. I think that does make sense, but I do think that if that's the case, Ryukishi as a social worker isn't putting enough credence in the mental and emotional strength of children, or there are factors that I'm currently unaware of. Sadako definitely has an excuse. Reina, we don't know the full story. Mion, I guess she has some societal pressures from being head of the family, I guess. But I don't know. I don't know how it would lead to what we've seen so far. Enrica, the gas thing doesn't fit into that, however. The gas thing could fit into that if you say it's like, it's not the sole cause, but it's helping them along, you know? It's definitely not helping. Kind of makes you more susceptible to emotional urges, takes away a bit of your self-control. Peace. In this village? When I nodded, she laughed, as if to admonish me, but her face remained indifferent, expressionless. And then her eyes narrowed slightly as she sniggered. Even though every year from now on, something bloody will occur.
Rika-chan.
Rika, what the hell are you talking about?
何の話だい
As the wind blew her hair about, the girl, as if taking pleasure in that I was the only one who didn't know, continued to snicker. She looked at my face for a while. You see, in a few years, I'll be killed. What? Backlit by the moon, it was hard to tell if her expression that had been cast in shadow was smiling, amused, or resigned.
リカちゃんが
You will?
どうして
Why? It's a very unpleasant thing. It's also probably been decided already.
決まっている
Decided already? Who would decide this sort of thing? I'd like to know that as well. Turning back to face me, she showed me a resolute expression for the first time. And after staring into my eyes for a moment, she turned back to gaze at the scenery before she spoke her next words. Anyway, that was my theory at this point. I definitely can't blame you. I think that's a good theory. But everything Rika's saying right now, it's kind of leading into mine. I'm going to stick with my guns. Even if I tell you, it might not change anything. But if you want to raise the specter of death sometimes, like with the reflection of the water, all you have to do is throw a small stone. This doesn't actually support conspiracy theory very highly, but it does actually support fucking the supernatural theory very, very much so, if you assume it's like some time loop nonsense. I had no idea what she was trying to say. It's just, I had to listen to every word with my body and soul. Or, that's what I thought, at least. This day, next year. Yeah, June 1979, on this day. The foreman of the dam construction project will be killed. What? For a moment, I couldn't comprehend what she was talking about. By the foreman, she mean the gruff old man I play mahjong with? But be killed?
殺されるって
What makes you think that? She didn't
どうして
answer. But she had the same expression on her face as she did when she declared the dam project to go away. That wasn't the face of someone making a forecast or prediction. It was something that was already decided. No. It was as if she was already reporting the results. That kind of expression. She could be making stuff up to sound cool. She could be. Or they've already decided, yeah, this person fucked with the dam. Yeah, this person fucked with the dam. Let's put them on a yearly schedule and just keep killing them to show people that, nah, you can't mess with the Sonozakis. We're staying on top, baby. And she's in on the conversation because she gets to nuzzle under the Katatsu. After being killed in a gruesome manner, the body will be torn apart and disposed of. Murdered and dismembered.
But
The next year, June 1980, on this day, Sadako's parents will be pushed to their deaths. Sadako. First time I heard that name, but I didn't have the courage to interrupt your story. Might be an accident. An unfortunate accident. The girl smiled faintly, but she wasn't exactly encouraging me to smile along with the lifeless look in her eyes. And then the year after that, this day, June 1981, my parents will be killed. And the year after that, this day in 1982, Sadako's abusive aunt will have her head split open and die. And the year after that, this day in 1983, or maybe a few days after, I will be killed. If all the deaths are preordained, then the last one would also be all according to plan. But then whose plan would it be? That's an interesting line. This village isn't full of murderers and people who have no regard for human life. It'd be fine to believe all the deaths up to 1982 would be the work of someone in the village. It'd be fine to believe all the deaths were at the discretion of those who control it. But that didn't explain what would happen in 1983. There was no way the last step would fit in with anyone's plans. They had no regard for human life. They'd use every means at their disposal to meet their goals. But their goals were at odds with the last death. That's why the last death was unrelated to them. But that last death would definitely, most likely, probably, without question, happen. Probably, definitely, I dare say. Can we get an award for the most nonsense fucking set of statements of all time? The last death would be a merciful one. A handkerchief or something placed over their mouth, making them lose consciousness, never to wake up again. Can we get a flashback to her body being ripped apart by crows? Exactly whose plan was that? Back off! Thank you. Goodness, I want to live that way. It's my only wish. Surrounded by my precious friends, spending our days enjoying only that. I don't wish for anything more. Rika, I don't want to die. The girl, stoic as ever, let those last words slip in the end. Eventually, we were discovered by some drunks. The girl, as well as I, were dragged back to the festivities. Yeah, so it sounds like she knows everything already, but the interesting thing is that in the first 2 episodes, I don't believe Rika died. Although I might just be misremembering. She might have been at the bottom of the well in the second one, but in the first one, I'm pretty sure she just didn't die. So that doesn't fit the theory. Something's different here. The VN has some top-tier lines. Oh, 100%. This is why the anime is shit, apparently. Because you don't get great internal monologues like that. The girls, well as I, were dragged back to the quote-unquote festivities. Everyone was completely drunk, so even when they saw my head completely wrapped in bandages, they wouldn't let me leave. Well, if I was in good enough condition to slip out of the hospital, must not be that serious, you know. Some, like, these murder tools are designed to kill people was a line. Yeah, it's just so good. It's brilliant. I drank too much tea. I'm gonna go take a piss right quick. I thought the chapter would be short. Give me just a second. Apologies for the impromptu off-schedule break. I had too much tea. I definitely am gonna keep drinking the tea. It definitely helps out my throat when I'm talking for a long time. It's pretty good stuff. The girl was mingling with everybody, being pampered like a kitten. Her expression was adorable, nothing like the one from just before, predicting her own death and whispering that she didn't want to die. Having said that, having a silly and lively conversation like this, it was hard to believe that these people were the core of an extremist resistance group. Even if it was just a shell of its former self, it was a festival where people in the village gathered. So the 20-some odd folk here should have included some of the village execs and other important members. I'm jamming the fuck out. Just doing a little shuffle. I gotta get me a face cam. Unfortunately, I'm broke as fuck. Among those, there was no doubt there were members that were at the Sonozaki family council in attendance. Meaning, even if we never met face to face, there were people here who knew who I was. In a small village like this, they knew the faces of all the villagers that lived here. That's why, without even saying anything, it became obvious I was an outsider. But they actually seemed interested by that, asking me all sorts of questions about how Tokyo is, drinking music on the favorite relationship the city had with villagers, and emphasizing with the regular, meager environment. I thought I could get that all in one breath, and I barely could. The confidential talks to the minister were finished, his grandson was in police custody, everything was over. Might not have to be put in another perilous situation. To me, they were only my adversaries because of my job. Outside of that, no reason I couldn't be friendly with them. Next time I visited the village, would it return to being a tranquil and beautiful place? If that happened, I might be able to take a relaxed walk around the village with her again. My cup was once again filled to the brim with beer. By the time I was able to get away, it was middle of the night. The girl, at some point, had disappeared. Since her parents had told her to go home and sleep, and she let out a large yawn. Meep. The old folks, who had absolutely no remorse for making an injured person hang out with them, told me as much as they laughed. I was just there drinking, so I had thought to help with the cleanup. However, my help was refused on the grounds that I was a guest. Yeah, they're polite. They're nice people. They wouldn't kill anybody. On top of that, they had a car prepared to take me back to the hospital. Losing the battle against my sleepiness inside the car, I was sound asleep until we reached the parking lot. The front doors of the hospital were locked at the hour. Wandered around bewilderedly searching for a back entrance until someone on night duty found me and left me inside. Where were you this late at night? Dr. Yuri was worried, you know. Sorry for the trouble. I was held up by people after the festival, the shrine. Oh, they said something about everyone in the town council getting together for a drink. My condolences. A guy with fresh head injury drinking alcohol? It's probably fine. I mean, it's the 80s in Japan. It's not even the 80s. It's late 70s right now. They didn't know how the brain worked. They were probably like, this will probably help you out, you know? I mean, alcohol disinfects. It might disinfect his fucking brain injury. They're throbbing a bit. I reject my prior statement. We're going to have memory issues in 20 years. It's probably because of the alcohol, I think. Oh, that's right. The detective that was with you wanted to get in touch. Oh, whoops. I kept him waiting, huh? I glanced at the clock. No matter how you looked at it, it was way too late to call him now. I'll apologize to him tomorrow over the phone. I returned back to my hospital room and slipped into the bed that was still unmade from when I went outside. I don't know enough about hospital equipment, but this just looks like a fucking level. Oh, that's no good. I have to turn off the lights. But my weariness had cut the cord power in my body, lulling me into a deep sleep. Damn it! I had like 20 screens left. And I should have held my fucking piss. I'm a fool. I'm an imbecile. That means that when this goes to YouTube, we'll want to have a clean chapter break with a break right on the chapter. Well, what can you do? 3 mothers' diaries. That's worrying. That might mean that we've already missed the birth, which would be kind of sad. I actually really like this guy. Heard someone's prediction. With a gun is interesting. Let's check out these tips, and then we can just keep on going. Mother's diary. Let's check this bitch out. Is it Yukie who had already had a kid? Let's see. There was something I didn't like about my child. Uh-oh. I first realized it when I started writing these things down. They never warn you about it in any books about raising children, but they aren't just playthings, you know? If they aren't able to feel loved even when they're not doing exactly as their parents want them to, then those parents are failures. This wasn't something like that, though. How can I say it? It's probably hard to express with words. I just want her to be average. As long as they weren't falling behind, no need for them to excel. As long as they acted appropriately for their age, I'd have been fine. My theory was that this was a memory of Eikaseika's, and he retroactively attributes the things to what Rika says. That is a really good theory because we know that this is a flashback and that he's priorly had injured. And that does just mean that she's just saying some like mysterious stuff here and he got some bad vibes from it. He also got drunk right after. So yeah, we cannot put a lot of credence into what he's saying here. I've been saying the word credence a lot lately. That's my word of the day. My child had been different since kindergarten. When the children in her class were running around excited about the field trip the next day, she wore a bored look on her face, aloof and distant. When the other kids broke the equipment for the athletics festival and were apologizing fervently, she wore a bored look on her face, aloof and distant. The teacher was reading a fun picture book, only she wasn't smiling. If they all got to eat a delicious bento, only she wasn't happy. If it was only this, it would be in the realm of understanding. Or what I don't understand is that if the aforementioned situations happened again, they'd now act in a manner befitting their age. I don't understand the principle behind that as a parent. Why were they indifferent about that field trip, but happy about this one? Why were they indifferent about that picture book, but happy about this one? It is a nice word. Yeah, there's a reason that whole ass band named themselves after it. Why were they indifferent about that bento, but happy about this one? The former and the latter in each situation seemed the same to me. There's even times where I thought the former was better. I don't understand her feelings. During parent-teacher meetings, the teacher always says the same thing. I would always respond, I don't understand my own child. We'd mope together. My husband, always the optimist, once said that young child's feelings are different from an adult's. So for things we didn't understand, we shouldn't really worry. I lament his lack of urgency. One day, when I was in a good mood, I took the effort to prepare a menu that my child was enjoying, but she only smiled with a vague expression of disinterest. The attitude made me angry, so I hit her on the head. A day when the weather was nice, the laundry I just hung up to dry was blown over by a gust of wind, causing the entire line to fall down, but she, watched me try to pick up the laundry in panic, stood there laughing. The attitude made me angry, so I hit her on the head. I think the same sort of thing happened countless times. And you wonder why your child's a fucking weirdo. My child had a strange emotional reaction, so I smacked her upside the fucking head. And now she's having more unsound emotional reactions. Clearly my child's a fool. Before I knew it, my child was only able to look at me with an indifferent expression on her face. I regret the fact that I've been a bad mother. Wow, thanks, that fixes everything. Thinking I should regain her trust, I thought to get back a little with some light interaction. Great parents. True shit. If this is Rika, then, yeah, maybe there's a reason that she wanted to stick around with us for a bit longer. See her do some sort of craft work on the veranda, I called out to her.
ここ数日
These past few days have been nice
気
and
持ち
sunny.
のい
It
い
feels
晴れ
nice,
の日
doesn't
が
it?
続いて
A child with that indifferent look in her face I hated so much looked up at me for a moment, then without a word, returned to immersing herself in her craft work. Up until now, I would have hit her on the head. Yeah, we know. I held myself
何を
back.
作っ
What
て
are you
るの
making, said doll?
てるてる坊主
Weather charm. That child was using inserts from the newspaper to make some weather charms. The forecast hadn't called for rain, though. That child, in her own way, was praying these sunny days would continue. Being able to understand my own child for the first time in a while, I couldn't hide my own happiness. Ooh, but you seem to have forgotten, Rika's mom, that last episode she was trying to get it to rain so the days would be different, so she's gonna turn them upside down, you fucking imbecile, you moron. Bringing out a ball of yarn, I began to hang my child's cute weather charms in the eaves of the house. She's gonna get mad at you for not getting them upside down. It's no good, Rika.
頭が
The
重
heads are
す
too
ぎ
heavy,
逆
see?
さてる
They
てる
become
坊主
reverse
に
weather
なっちゃっ
charms
た
now.
これじゃ
If they're like this,
あ
they'll
れじゃ
call
な
the rain
くて
instead of the sun.
雨に
I
なっちゃ
started
う
taking
わ
them
よ
down. My child tugged at the hem of my shirt as if to stop me.
逆さにな
That's
るよう
because I
に
made
作
them
っ
to be
たの
upside
だ
down.
か
They're fun.
らでもリカ
But Rika, if they're upside down,
Little
they won't be a
Boss
charm that
が
calls
逆さじゃ
for a sunny day, you know?
雨が降る
I
よ
was
うに
making a
お
charm
ま
for
じ
it to
ない
rain,
を
so
してい
they're
る
fine.
から
I
But I
suppressed the
do.
emotions welling up inside me. I was trying desperately to understand my child. Oh, I see.
そっ
Morning glories in
か
the gardens were getting a little wilted from the sun.
お
So you
庭
wanted
の
some
朝
rain, right?
顔が
She
荒
turned to
れ
you with the
続き
expression
で
I
元
hated
気
the
がなくなっ
most.
ちゃったから晴れにね
I got bored of the clear weather.
飽きたの
I don't understand. Don't get it. I can't understand this kid. Off screen, we hear a little bit of a as she gets smacked upside the head yet again. God damn. This is why you cannot have a Higurashi fighting game. Because, like, the training dummy would be 8-year-old Rika. Maybe I should take matters into my own hands and see if I can create this masterpiece. Get that shit off the ground. Oh, man. During the family council, she buried herself under Orio's futon again. Oreo-san dotes on her unwaveringly. No matter whatever insolence my child commits, she doesn't really mind. It's almost as though my child's a kitten. Oreo dotes on her exactly as you would a kitten. As her mother, I chided her for doing that. So Oreo had said 3 times it was fine, I chided her as a formality. Of course, she never lends an ear to my chidings. Knowing that Oreo's standing was above mine, she behaves just like that. I don't like that cunning that's unbefitting of her age, either. In any case, not only Oreo, but the rest of the old folk in the village, they spoil her too much. One day, I was surprised. By chance, on the way back from some shopping, I saw her by herself outside the candy shop. My own child grabbed a snack, opened the package right then and there, and just ate it. She didn't make any attempt to pay for it. She didn't even think of looking around. Didn't feel like she was shoplifting, or she was eating snacks offered to her. When I began to admonish my child, the elderly shop owner appeared and covered for her. The owner gave the ridiculous excuse they said it was okay to eat anything out by the entrance, so it was fine. When I tried to pay for the snacks that she'd eaten, the owner refused my money. During that exchange, more old folks gathered around, began to feel like I was the one in the wrong. The elderly people put their hands together reverently in front of my child and repeatedly voiced their respects. I was born to the fruit day, so it wasn't like I didn't know why she was being treated, especially. When I was young, it was something I heard about from my grandmother. If by chance the child I gave birth to was a girl, it would be the living incarnation of Oyashiro. All the older folks believe she's the living incarnation of Oyashiro, and spoil her fucking rotten. Not only did they spoil her, but they even told her she was the living incarnation of Oyashiro. She had divine power, threw all sorts of strange folktales her way. So she may have begun to believe herself that she was a special existence. Okay, yeah, maybe she would have a psychotic break in this shit. This is like a cult leader horror story. Went around and told everyone it wasn't good for her upbringing, so stopped telling her the strange things. But there was no uprooting the elderly people's deep-seated superstition. I told my child not to listen, but it ended up being that she just stopped listening to me. So all the old folk in the village who had done her, myself only scolded her. There was no wonder about who she'd listened to. There was no mistaking, the reason she had become strange was because of the elderly. There was no doubt they shoved her full of strange folktales and superstitions since she was young. So not your fault at all, huh? If it wasn't for that, there was no doubt she would have been cute and normal. You're a terrible fucking person, lady. Mother's Diary number 3. Ooh, different. One sunny parent-teacher day. There was a cooking class. My child was making curry rice at the practice stand. While the other children her age were awkwardly using their kitchen knives, that child was wielding hers rather deftly. The teacher approached me with a smile on her face and saying it was the result of learning at home. I managed to play it off with a vague smile and a nod. That was because I had never once taught my child how to make curry rice. Even then, she was peeling vegetables with a practiced hand, add them into the pot in the order of which took longer to cook. For a normal parent, they might clap their hands together, happy at their child's actions. But in my case, it was a little different. There was no mistaking someone taught her how to make the curry rice when I wasn't taking care of her. Thinking that, I fell into a rather unpleasant mood. When I asked, it seemed she could also sew, and do the laundry. I never taught her how to do those things. I never saw her do it around the house, be it cooking or sewing or laundry. Again, that was probably because the elderly villagers taught her all sorts of rubbish when I wasn't looking. Not only that, they probably taught her all sorts of strange superstitions, propping her up as the living incarnation of Oishiro and whatnot. I said as much to my husband, suggesting we should keep our child away from the elderly. My husband, who was in the position of being head priest of the shrine, didn't have a power against the elderly who were supporting him. He took the uncommitted stance of saying that as long as she was being doted upon, it was probably fine. I argued against that myself. She was our child, and she should be normal. That was what the elderly were expecting, that she was the living incarnation of Oishiro. It was just odd. The elderly villagers believe the child has divine powers. We discussed the weather for the following day, but there were many times where I left the house without an umbrella and came back soaking wet. Rather than having clairvoyance, it was just secondhand knowledge from her watching the news. Things she knew that she shouldn't have known were results of people trying to indoctrinate her, people who were gossiping, getting together in the village. It is this. Yes, I agree. However, there certainly were days when everyone thought it was going to be sunny all day, and that child would stubbornly not go out without an umbrella. It would occasionally rain, and in the end we would be saved. May have been times where she knew of major accidents in foreign countries faster than the news did. Thought she must have heard it break over the radio or something. Knowing things she shouldn't have, something like that. Was in front of me right now, wasn't it? She was making curry rice when there shouldn't have been anybody who taught her to. Nah, it's not it. Someone taught her, they indoctrinated her. When I wasn't taking care of her, she indoctrinated Rika with something. Urude's curry is absolutely splendid. I'll give it a gold star. Meepa! This shit is great. Where'd you learn to cook for today? At home? Yeah, at home. The parents were impressed. Lies. It's all lies. I didn't teach her jack fucking shit. Who was it? Who was the person who completely indoctrinated my child? She was my normal average daughter, not the living incarnation of fucking Oishiro. The scariest curry rice the world has ever seen. What do you mean, read all tips in Himatsubushi? Oh, we're fucking done? This is the last one? Are you kidding me? Damn, this is gonna be a shorter stream than I thought. That's my bad, y'all. It was an accident that happened in such a small village that anyone would forget. On one day, after the tragedy come to a close, just as the scars began to heal, a young man thinks nostalgically of the little girl he once met. Okay, so this is after the gassing, I'd assume? Parent blaming other people for raising her child, very normal behavior. The words he couldn't ask that day, the promise he couldn't fulfill that day. His regrets and lamentations opened the fate that was sealed and became a single book. Thank you, Frederica Berncastle. Appreciate it. Yeah, this mom is extremely maladjusted. Himatsubushi. I don't know what that word means. I tried to Google it, and I didn't get anything. Fate isn't only about happiness, but there is no one that would wish for unhappiness. That's some wise-ass shit. I put that in a t-shirt. Midsummer, 1985. Okay, so this is after everyone died. Papa, you there, Papa? Huh? Oh. You alright? It's me, Yuki. Were you having a scary dream? Yuki was sitting next to me. I patted her head after hearing her say that. Must have had a bad dream sleeping in the cabin. I was sweating pretty profusely.
Yeah.
No, it's not. I guess it's just a little hot in here, huh? I tried to wipe away the sweat while answering, looked around for a hand kerchief or a towel, and then a cold drop ran down my forehead. She turned to me and smiled and wiped my face with the towel she received at taking. Thanks, Miyuki. Of course. Thanks to her, I was able to shake off my slumber, so I got up from the aisle seat and looked out the window. Miyuki is... The first thing happened in 79, we're currently in 85. She is 6 years old, I believe? If she was just born then, she's like turning 6. Or maybe 7 if it happened in 78 and I got my year wrong. In which case, she is, exactly as old as my little sister. I have a... The worst part about this VM might be that everyone refers to the chapters by their Japanese name instead of the number. Yeah, I think I can get behind that. It's some nonsense. And there's some distinction between the chapters and the episodes. I was talking to somebody in my chat who, I was the only person streaming Higurashi on that particular Thursday. I might be the only person streaming Higurashi right now on the whole platform. So every once in a while I get somebody coming in and being like, oh, you're streaming Higurashi. That's really cool. I like this game. And I'll say something from an episode or a chapter, and they'd be like, but the chapters are part of the chapters are the episodes, and it's some nonsense, because technically the episodes are also called chapters in the translation and whatnot, but in the translation they get sent to chapters. Oh, whoops. I wrap my arm around Miyuki in the window seat, listen to the noise, land and sea blue passes before our eyes. It definitely leads to some confusion, and I think it's some bullshit, some nonsense. Wow, it's Hokkaido! It's so big! And then the plane gently turned before entering the airport runway. Yeah, my little sister's this age. Just about, yeah. So this is actually really cool. I was talking during episode 3 about how Sadako acts just like one of my little sisters. That is a different little sister. I am the oldest of 5, and I have 3 little sisters. This little kid is about the age of my youngest little sister. God, that's such a good age, like 6, 7. 6, 7. God fucking damn it. I'm raid running. We're having the lobby. I glance around looking for Oishi. Why are you bringing your daughter to go talk to this motherfucker, dude? I usually call them episodes. I do as well, because that makes sense, and it's a very clear distinction. But whatever works, you know. I was met with a familiar gruff voice calling out to me. Akasaka-san! Akasaka-san! How many years has it been? It's been a while, hasn't it? Oishi! It's been a long time. He clapped his hand on my shoulder, celebrating our reunion. Not that I really care, though. I don't either. It's just annoying. Akasaka! Looking pretty good. Looking like a bona fide frontline investigator. You're looking quite down for yourself. Your posture seems better. Is the ballroom dancing paying off? You should give it a try while you're so young. Be a hit with the ladies. A real babe magnet. He had retired, moved to Sapporo, and of all things, started taking ballroom dancing lessons. Oh man, I don't know why that's giving it to me, but holy fuck, that is just the imagery of this motherfucker, at this point like 58 to 60-year-old man, just going burr, 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 waltzing around, covered in cigarette smoke and doing his little laugh the entire fucking time. He got really into it and decided to spend the rest of his new life devoted to the hobby. He's not doing this shit. Oh man, he was aiming to get his instructor's qualifications before he hit 80 and live out his old age daintily. Oh, and who might this be? She gets a Sprite? This motherfucker gets a Sprite. That's crazy work, though. Where'd she get the Angie hair? Interesting. Wish she turned to the section of Miyuki, who was standing idly next to me. He bent down one knee to look at her in the face. That is the correct reaction, Yukes. She's got a good head on her shoulder, huh? Her, my daughter was frightened of him behind my back. Come on, Yuki. Introduce yourself properly, alright? She started to Oishi with a dubious expression, tugging at the hem of my shirt. She's not this shy usually. I wonder what's wrong. You're looking at him, dumbass. Sorry about that. She's not like this. Oh, no, it's no problem. This old man has a scary face. You don't mind. Could you tell me your name? I'm Yuki. I don't remember this scene. Uh-oh. Here's hoping I didn't, like, install a faulty version of the visual novel. I'm 7 years old. Nice to meet you. Great, that was a good introduction. I'd expect no less from Akasaka's daughter. She gently stroked Miyuki's head and smiled as though she were his own grandchild. Finally seeing that, Miyuki smiled in relief. Oh, was that a moment of revelation graph? Or an oh, like, oh shit, what is this man doing with my daughter? She just didn't have a sprite without the mod? Yeah, the mod is so nice for adding sprites like that. It's really, really nice. It gives sprites to the 2 little tykes that participate in all the games as well. The ones that are into Sadako and Rika. And some other minor characters that didn't have sprites before. It's really nice. It helps pin some names and faces. And they generally print pretty well. Shortly after, Miki told me she was just doing what I had told her to do. Be careful around strangers. We should have heard that at a hearty shaking his body while laughing and walking. Also knows voice acting. Yeah, the mod is so fucking good. It's really, really nice. I let myself into Ishi's car. We headed out towards the Hot Spring Inn. Why are you taking your daughter to a Hot Spring Inn with a 6-year-old coworker you haven't spoken to in 6 years? I originally intended to crash into Ishi's, but he was quite obstinate that his home wasn't suitable for that, so it came to this. At the end, we relaxed while soaking in the springs and ate a delicious feast till we were full. He got a little bit of the Mongolian barbecue and was delighted with it. I have never had Mongolian barbecue, but the rest of my family has. I think I was at a concert the day they were going. So, apparently, it is fucking delicious. So, I've been trying to find an excuse to have it for a pretty long time. My birthday is next month, so I might actually give it a shot. After our bellies were full, Miki grew sleepy and went off to bed. Then Oishi and I reminisced about the time we played Mahjong in Namazawa. You know what? Before I forget, let me actually tell my parents that's what I want for my birthday. I'm just gonna send a little text to my mom and dad. Was reading something, and it reminded me to the grill for my birthday. It was great when I'd like to give it a shot. Alright, we'll see. I intentionally didn't want the voice acting. You're a bit of a purist when it comes to modding something on the first playthrough. I understand this, and I would agree, but I feel like a lot of the scenes where there's no background music, which are a lot of them, especially some of the longer KG monologues or when he's talking on the phone, they would end up a bit too quiet. And I'm not exactly a, because I'm streaming this for other people, I recognize that I don't exactly have amazing voice acting chops, at least in regards to doing voices for characters. I'm not a great impressionist at the end of the day. I've got a couple just okay ones, but at the end of the day, you can really tell everything for the most part is just me changing inflection just a little bit. I'm not really going the extra mile, you know? I can't really do it. It rips my throat apart. I'd have to work on it. I'd have to make it like something I'm actively practicing. But I definitely think that a little bit of sugar and spice to everything nice can help alleviate that specific detriment of mine. I think it makes for a better viewing experience, if you don't mind me saying. After our bellies were swollen, Yuki grew sleepy and went off to bed. Then Oishi and I reminisced. I already read this. It seems that to celebrate a reunion, we looked for people who could play, but unable to find a suitable candidate, we had to give up on putting together a team. No, that's kind of a shame. As we drink together, we excitedly recount our exploits during the final man. You know what I might do? What I might do is, if it doesn't take too long to download, and the episode just ends right here, which it looks like it will, considering there's no more tips, we're not going to start on episode 5. I like to do the start of a new episode as its own stream, because it just makes life easy. We'll start that next week. I might download Mahjong Soul, and we might play some fucking Mahjong. I think that would be a fun time. Just get into it right quick. They end up catching the two guys. Why does he get a different sprite of him and a yukata where it takes like 30 pounds off of him? What the fuck? Why is he wearing pearls like he's a wasp? No. In the end, search team never found him. They were probably hidden by villagers and sent overseas or somewhere else to lay low for them. Wish, if I remember correctly, managed to grab one of their guns, didn't you? Did you learn anything from that?
海外の軍用系関西系の暴力団組織が大量に全条痕を調べましたが、他の事件とそっちでは？
私はあの後しばらく現場を離れましたので、結局全部闇の中ってことで決着したようですがね。
He smiled wryly as he sipped his chilled drink.
あの後
What happened
は
after that? It was tough.
今年で
It's been 7 years now.
先日
We held a memorial
7
service
回
a few days
岐阜
ago.
とも
I become
最近
estranged
は
from
疎
my
遠でして
father-in-law lately, so it was rough getting everything.
準備でいろいろ苦労しました。
Oh no, she died? Shit.
あれはそれは
Must have been a
お
lot of
疲れ
work, huh?
様でした
It was then the hostess brought in the extra drinks we ordered before. While the bottles of beer clanked, she brought him in, we halted our conversation. What he meant when he said it must have been tough. Thinking about that was still hard, but time healed the wound a little bit. We're flashing back. It was the day after. When I phoned Oishi to apologize. When I did that, he almost immediately handed the phone to my colleagues who happened to be there. Not only was I injured with the brawl and the suspects, but I disappeared to drink in the evening without leaving contact info. So I thought he was going to be mad. But all he said was that something that he couldn't talk over the phone, and I should come to the station. At the time, I could only think he must have been really pissed off. But it's not that, is it? When I arrived at the station, he said this.
君の奥
It
さんが
seems
事
your
故
wife
に遭
was
ったらし
involved
い
in an accident. What do you mean involved in an accident? What the fuck? Having no idea what happened, I involved the hospital to contact the hospital. What the fuck did I just say? I'm not going to worry about it. I'd been given the runaround a couple times, so I was able to talk to someone in charge. After mincing words for some time, they told me. He died in an accident. An accident? I'm sorry. How do you have an accident when you're like days away from giving birth in the hospital? An accident? That's not how they describe it if she died during childbirth. It's an accident? What the fuck? Yuki's death was unbelievably abrupt and unbelievably sudden. Could have understood if there was some kind of problem during the birth. Yeah, I could have as well. But her death wasn't anything like that. On the stairs, on the way up to the roof, she happened to slip and fall at an unfortunate place, at an unfortunate angle. What the fuck? Want to blame her death on somebody. I began to think it was an act of revenge by the Guardians. They killed my wife, made it look like an accident. But what I learned was much more cruel. She had a habit of going to the roof to cool off in the evening. There was an elevator to the 7th floor, but from there you had to take the stairs. Even late in pregnancy, when the evening came, she would always head up there. Her father said for her not to push herself, but she insisted that until the day she had no choice but to stay in bed, she'd be allowed to do as she wished. However, I had never once seen her go up to the roof. I only heard from her father and the nurses. It's because whenever I visited her, she would spend that time with me instead. I heard the reason why she went up to the roof from the nurse she'd become friendly with. She said her husband was away on business a lot of the time. Whenever he called, she was able to cheer him up and give him courage. When he didn't call, she couldn't. Her husband might put on a show of bravado, but in reality he grew lonesome pathetically fast. She was the same. Whenever he left for business, not clear when he'd be back, she felt very lonely. Whenever she cheered him up, she was cheering herself up as well. So whenever he went away for a job, a lot of the evenings he didn't call. At the very least, she felt standing underneath the same sky, her feelings would reach him. And at that moment, I remember the words the girl had told me. It was best to go back to Tokyo right away. Otherwise, there'd be something I'd regret horribly. That's it. Because I was away on business that day, she headed to the roof. I known this would be the result, and I'd done as she had said, and dropped everything, just to head back to Tokyo. I could have been with her on the day she died. If I was with her, she wouldn't have gone to the roof in the first place. I mean, people do sometimes slip on stairs and die. Yeah, and that's just what happened this time. Fuck. It's just they phrased it as an accident. I was like, it smells like foul play when you hear it like that. And the novel has definitely taught you to be a little suspicious. But yeah, no, this is just... It's just wrong place, wrong time. The day my wife died was the evening of the 3rd day of my trip. So it was right before the time I had the sudden urge to hear her voice and ran around the village trying to find a phone. The girl had gone around and cut all the phone cords. If she hadn't, and I made that call, I would have learned of her death at that time and collapsed in tears. Of course, even though the phones were cut, it only put me off learning the death by the evening. In the end, I learned of it the next morning. However, when I managed to put my emotions in order, I realized it was a small token of consideration.
そんな
That's
話
the
は
first I've heard about that. Yeah,
私も初め
it's
て
the first
話
time
し
I've
ます。
talked about it.
偶然では
Could it have been a coincidence?
能
She
力
doesn't
じ
have
ゃあ
any
るまい
special
し
powers.
大石さんは教えてくれました。あの子は
That she might be the
お社
reincarnation
様
of
とい
Oishiro.
う神様の
ねえ
Well,
村の
yeah.
年寄りど
The
も
old
は
folks in the village believe that
フルで
Rika
理科
had
に
divine powers.
神通力。
Divine powers? We should have originally said it as a kind of joke. Realizing I was serious, he slumped his shoulders a little bit.
ああ
I don't know if it's the truth or
未
not.
来のことを
It said
予
she did
言
things
して
like
み
prophesy
せ
the
た
future, talk about
知
things
ら
she
ない
didn't
は
really
ず
know.
千里眼だ
That
の
was,
天
she was
啓示だ
clairvoyant
の
or divine
あ
revelation.
あい
Well,
ろいろ
all sorts
も
of
ちろん
nonsense.
具
Of
体
course,
的
I
な
couldn't
実
give
例は
specific examples.
幸恵の事故を
She prophesied.
予言してみせました。
He tried to laugh it off, but out of respect to my dead wife, he kept it restrained.
現職
Does
の
that mean an active and capable
警視庁の
investigator
敏
from
腕
the
捜
Metropolitan
査
Police
官
Department believes in divine powers and
神
curses?
通力やら
Haven't heard
語
him
り
say
や
that
ら
so
信
bluntly.
じ
I
るわけ
couldn't really respond. Of course, I had no intention of believing odd things, but he could only say that because he didn't know what I did. Since I met that other girl who was and wasn't Rika Furude, I couldn't deny the existence of an otherworldly entity.
予知でなく予
Of
告の
course, I
可能
can't
性も
deny that I might not have
もちろん
prescience,
否定でき
but
ません。
rather a warning. Not prescience, but a warning. What the girl had said was a warning about Yuki's accident. Things became easier to understand. Basically, the line of thinking was, it was a threat because I didn't go back to Tokyo. She was killed in a way that made it look like an accident.
奥さんの事故の
Not
検証
satisfied with
に
the investigation of your wife?
もちろん
Of course, I
考察の
suspected foul
現場
play.
検証の
I
書類
poured
は
over the results
全
and
て
carried
目を
out my
通し
own
ましたし、
personal investigation, you know?
私
My
が独
wife.
自に調査もし
Yeah,
ました。
no, that's an entirely reasonable reaction. You should do this. There weren't any witnesses to Yuki's fall. There's a possibility someone had hidden waiting to push her down the stairs. However, the cleaning ladies frequented the roof to hang laundry. The security cameras on each floor hadn't recorded anything out of the ordinary. There wasn't anything set up on the stairs, and I couldn't find anything suspicious.
結局、
In the end, even after my
独自の
investigation,
検証の結果でも
I just can't think that anything else
幸恵
happened.
が単独で事故を起こしたとしか。
Twisted
う
fate.
ん
まあ確かに大臣の孫を誘
These are the
拐
guys
して
that took the minister's grandson.
妊婦一人を階段から
It
突
wouldn't
き
be
落として
impossible for them to push a lone
証拠を
pregnant woman
残さない
down
な
the
んて
stairs without any evidence. Or his
できないこ
expressions
とじ
over
ゃない
that.
のかもしれない。
奥さん
They
は
murdered your wife?
連中
Yuki
に
died. I thought that as well.
殺
Well,
され
precisely,
た
I wanted to blame somebody, so I created the most viable scapegoat. Without any clear evidence, the notion faded, along with the wounds in my
あ
heart.
の少女は
Did that girl know beforehand
私に
about
妻
my
の
wife's death and
それ
was
とも
threatening me, or did she prophesy
妻
the
の
death
死を
and
予
was
言
on
し
the road to salvation?
そのどちらかなの
If
だ
I
と
choose
したら
between the two, I tend towards the latter.
私はこう
He smiled slightly in disbelief as he poured beer
い
from his
や
bottle.
いいですよ
And if
あ
I
なた
may,
さんの
what
言う
you
通
say
り
is true, then Rika was a prophet who knew the
フ
future.
ルで理解なら
If so,
な
why
ぜ
didn't
あの
she
大
predict
災
the
害がよ
disaster?
あんな恐ろ
She
し
knew
い
the
ガ
gas
ス災
was
害が
gonna
起こると
happen.
知
Why
って
she
て
remain silent?
数
Even
時
a
間前
few
でも
hours beforehand would have been
もし
enough,
村
yeah?
に知らされていたら
Most
ほとん
people
どの
would
人
escape
は死
without
なず
dying.
に済んだかもしれないじゃないですか
Great Hinamizawa disaster did in fact happen. in 1984. Near the end of June 1983, volcanic gases from the swamp erupted into the village of night. Unexpected disaster where the whole populace was wiped out. A wave of panic about volcanic gas across the country caused people to overreact over any reports of odd smells. Hadn't heard of the blockade of the area being lifted, so it should still be cordoned off. 2 years later? Damn! That's, it was my turn to be lost in response. We know that if she is a prophet, she couldn't say anything because she's dead. She was food for the ravens hours before.
まあ、お社様の生まれ変わりであるフルでリカが殺されたので、村がお社様の怒りに触れて、そういう話が確かに。
おいさん、失礼。殺されたとおっしゃいましたか？
Yeah. Well, I don't think it would have been a problem if I told you.
赤坂さんになら話しても問題ないから。
I then found her name on the list of victims. That's why at the time I thought she predicted was due to the gas. It was after that I learned from the tablets of a series of mysterious tests during the 5% of the disaster. It became known as the curse of engineering, and that string of mysterious tests lined up exactly what the girl predicted. So I stopped to ask Oishi about it, as he'd been involved in the investigation. That's right, this is a new track, and it's kind of fire. That's right, that was the reason for our reunion at the end of the day. Right now, Oishi had said she didn't die in the disaster, but was killed. It's pretty important.
最後の年のたたりについて
about the last year of the curse?
聞かせてもらっ
I may be retired, but I have to keep things confidential.
中井さん、すいません、お冷やで
Do you have anything
ちょ
cold
っ
that's
とグレー
really
ドの
high
高い
grade?
種類はお
I'll
任
leave
せ
the
します
selection to you.
いやいや、
Oh my, I didn't mean it that
そうい
way.
うつもりで言っ
He
たんじゃ
laughed
ない
loudly,
んだ
not
よ
wholly
な。
unsatisfied. Stopped the host to tell her that the cheap booze was alright.
私も
I know as much
週
as
刊
was
誌で
written
報
in
道
those
でも
magazines, but I don't know anything
大
about the
災害の
curse,
年
the
の
year of disaster.
例の大
Because
災
the
害
entire
の
area was sealed off.
最後の年のたたりについては、何年か後に
Even
封
if
鎖
after
が解
several
けた
years
と
the
しても、
quarantines lifted, the villagers are dead.
村人の
What?
ほとんど
Survivors
が
left,
死ん
went
で
to
ま
save
す
their
し、
relatives. Their whereabouts are unknown, you
完
know?
全に
It's a dead
永
end.
久入りです。
He seemed to postulate to himself as he stared at the ceiling, trying to work out a memory from the rusty cogs in his head. And then he said, in a very sober voice,
週刊誌なんか
the
じゃ、
magazines made it seem like
5
the
年目
curse
の
of the
たた
fifth
り
year
が
was a
本
disaster.
当の
But the
5
actual
年目の
curse
た
happened
た
the
り
day
は、
of the festival.
富武次郎
A
っていう
photographer by the
渡
name
航
of
写真
Hiro
家がいる。
comes out.
彼が犠牲。
He was the victim. Oshiro gestured about how the victim tore out their own throat with his fingernails as he talked. And the burnt corpse of the woman
その
Tomitake's
富武
relationship
氏の
with
恋仲
was
の
found
女
in
性
the
が
mountains in Gifu.
岐阜県警さんがあんまり
Gifu
協力
prefectural
的じゃなかっ
police
た
were
の。
corrupt, so I don't know too much.
一夜にして犠
There were
牲
two
者が
victims
2
in
人
one
も
night?
うーん
Actually,
2
see,
人どころ
it
じゃ
wasn't
まないんで
just
すよ。
those two.
その翌
You
日
see, the next
私の
day,
後輩の熊谷君
Kuma
が
guy, one of my
捜
subordinates,
査中
disappeared
に
along
車
with
両
his
ご
car
と
in the
蒸
middle of
発
his
しましてね。
investigation. Kuma guy was a younger detective that was going to be partner with Oishi after we met.
富武
He
氏
was
の
going around the village
事件
catching
捜
people
査
on
の
the
ために
inside
村何かの事件
He
に
might have
巻き
gotten
込ま
caught
れ
up in something.
私と一
He
緒
was
だ
with
った
me, he
な
might
ら
have been safe.
無事だったかもしれないと思うと
Even now, it still stings a
あ
little
の
bit.
日どうい
That
うわ
day, for
け
some
か
reason, I did a number on my
外
stomach.
回りは
Had
遠
to
慮
pass
しちゃっ
and
て
go
たん
around
です
outside.
事件の真相に近づきすぎて
Music just lit on fire. He got to sense the truth and was made to disappear.
思ってました熊ちゃんは
Kuma was
依
young,
然と
he
有
had a
望
promising
な
future
若
ahead,
者だった
but
ん
he
で
didn't have enough experience in the
す
scene.
トラブル
You know?
慣れしてな
He
か
was
ったん
used
で
to deal
す
with complications. He lamented the fact that he wasn't subordinate that
で
then the
さら
next
に
day,
な
so,
あ
you know, it
彼
was
の
well,
こと
like I said.
は赤坂さんほら
Oh, you know,
入江
Dr.
先生
Yeah,
覚え
yeah,
て
you
ます
remember.
あ
Oh, yeah, the young
あ
doctor.
ぼんやりと
Osborne.
覚えてます
彼ですね
Remember, he committed suicide. Was
遺書の類にはね司法解剖の結果でも動機以外に不審な点
Nothing
は
was
な
doubt
し
except motive.
睡眠薬での死に見せ
Isn't
かけ
that
る
hard to make it look like someone
そんな
died?
に難
It's
しい他殺の可能性は
Any possibility it could have
独
been
身で離婚歴もなし特定の女性と付き合っていたという少年野球チームの監督を
baseball
務
team,
め
good job villagers.
村
Well,
人
that
との
much is
親
about
戚
everyone.
が見当た
I
り
couldn't
ませ
find
んね
anyone who wanted to.
ああそれを調べる
Well,
にも
any chances to investigate
もうあの大
disaster.
今となって
There's
は
no way to find out anything now.
彼の身辺を調べ
それで
Then what about Rikus?
その当日
Is that
昼頃
around
に
meets in the old folks'
ジン
group?
フルで理科の死体を発
他殺
Murder.
見
Or continue.
話す前に
Stop eating that
その
spit
イカそうめん
無体の死に
That bad? He nodded pretty firmly.
死体は
The
神社
corpse
の
was found
境
in the
内
shrine grounds next to the
も
donation
っとも
box. Oh, she was probably killed somewhere
全
else.
裸で
Because while she was completely
足
naked,
の裏は
there
汚
wasn't
れ
any
てま
dirt
せん
and soles of
愉
her
快
feet.
犯の
A sign it was sexual assault?
司法
Or
解
the
剖の
autopsy? No indication.
分かったの
We
は
do know she was rendered unconscious by
薬
some
物
drug
で
carried
昏
that place
睡
and had
さ
her
せられ
abdomen
て
sliced
意図
wide
的
open.
に臓器を引きずり出して
Her organs were
地
deliberately
方に
moved, scattered
昏睡
about, unconscious?
では
Then she wasn't cut open after her death. That's horrible. Yeah, that girl's prediction was right on the mark. Pretty sure she was more detailed by the other deaths that led to her own. For example, I think she said that housewife was beaten to death in Fort Year, had her head slit open. Yeah. Now in that case, did she know her own death would be so terrible? Must have been some moments when she wanted to doubt the validity of her own prediction. But as people died exactly as she prophesied, years went by. Prophecy would come closer to fruition. Then, facing the final year, she couldn't struggle against her destiny. Her all too young life was snuffed out, and in such a cruel way, too. Knowing her days were numbered, and able to fight the tides of events heralding her end. My heart ached at her helplessness.
この死に方ですが、
About the way she died, seems it
どう
wasn't
も
just
単なる
someone's
旅
sick
行を言い
taste.
ますの
What
は
I'm
です
saying
ね、
is, I told her before how it used to be home to
Hinami-
demons, didn't I, the village? Yeah, I think I remember.
南沢村
The
のお
festival in
祭り
Yamazawa, the Watsunagashi,
渡
the
辺
cotton
って い
drifting,
うのは
seems to stem
そ
from
も
the
そ
drifting
も
of entrails,
何で
actually.
も
Seems it came
人
from the
食い
man
鬼
eating
たち
demons
が
who birthed their victims
犠
throw
牲
the
者
organs
を
in the
つま
river.
り
In other words,
ひなみ沢
Yamazawa,
村においては
Ponan entrails had
内
a
臓を引き
religious
ずり
well, this is according to the old tales, you see.
人食い鬼
It
と
acts as an
人間
arbitrator
が
so
仲
humans
良く
may
暮
need
ら
demons
す
to
ため
live
の
together
調停
peacefully.
者とし
A
て
god knows Oyashiro
親
in
代
the
様という
heavens.
確か
He never
フ
mentioned
ル
it
で
in the
リカ
mouth.
は
Nope,
そのお
never
社
once.
様の生まれ変わりだと言われてるんでしたね。
If I recall, Rika was said to be the living incarnation of Oyashiro. Yeah. He never mentioned it. God. If he did, things might have changed and been different. But, what can you do? He got pulled off the scene. And he did have bigger things to worry about, to be fair. His wife just died. Probably slipped his mind.
ええ
Yeah.
ですから
So cutting up
この
Enrico is
嵐
like
と
God
神
beats
であ
the
る
village
フルデ
to
リカ
nothing
は
less than sacrifice.
信仰への
Absolute
それはつまり
sacrilege, yeah. In other words, it means sacrifice
親代
towards
様へ
Oyashiro,
あと
yeah?
は赤坂
You
さ
should
ん
know.
親代様のたたりが起こるの
Akasaka!
はその
Goodness
晩の
gracious, man. Hoo-wee! The wrath of Oyashiro would occur that same
ひ
night.
なみ沢
The Great Hinamizawa disaster. The
Thy
official
sight.
explanation was that some swamp upstream erupted with toxic volcanic gas, which enveloped the village.
発生し
The
た
swamp
沼は
erupted was
鬼が
Onifuji's
南
fault.
沢村
It's the
の旧
origin
名
of the old name,
鬼が
Onifuji
吹き
village.
村の言い伝えでは
According to village lore, the depths
こ
of
の
the
沼
swamp
の
led
奥
to hell
底は
where many
地獄
demons
に
came.
つながってるそうで
Incredible, you never asked
かつ
energy.
て村にやってき
Very,
た人食い鬼
very
たちは
true shit.
この
If
沼から訪
either
れ
of
た
them
のだ
mentioned anything to each other, there definitely could have been a lot more revelations about what happened, how, and why. They might have been able to actually like do something to save some people. Would have been pretty legit, you know, not having everybody die. But if everybody is just canonically dead, then that means that what actually happens in the village is kind of a closed loop, you know, which is interesting in its own way. Seeing how everything will turn out. I love the setting. It's unique. It almost seems too perfect.
いやい
Oh,
やい
no,
や
no, 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 no. That's the tip of the iceberg.
村には伝
There's
承
another
があ
bit
り
of
まし
folklore.
て
If Oyashiro became angry, the
親
cauldron of
代
hell would
様
open
が
up
お
and
怒
miasma
りに
would
な
flow
ら
out.
村人にとって
The villagers' hell was at the bottom
つ
of
ま
the
りそ
swamp,
こから
so the miasma poured out.
蒸
Spawned
気
the
が
village.
溢れ出して
そう
Yeah.
つまり
So
フルデ
basically,
リカこと
through the
親代
sacrilegious
様の生まれ
way
変わりが
that Rika
冒
died,
涜され
the
る殺
village
され
incurred the wrath
方
of
をした
Oyashiro
の
in the form of
で
disaster.
こういう
Seems
話
to
が
be
ま
the
かり通っ
explanation,
ちゃ
at
っ
least.
つまり
So what you're saying is the disaster was
た
not a
うー
natural.
ん
Everything seems to fit together just a
し
little
親
too
代
well.
様のたたりが
Oyashiro's curse
実
doesn't
在
really
せ
exist
ず
and everything else was a matter of
本当
coincidence.
の
I doubt
偶
it,
発
you know?
的事故でもない
Ross
ってんな
Malfoy on his face to listen to my
そう
absurd
なり
take.
たくもなります
The
よ
humor
ね
expression is, though, even though it was absurd, there was a time you thought the same thing.
村の信仰をめぐって
In regards to the rules
狂
of
信的な
villagers,
一派
suppose
が
it
あ
was
った
more
と仮定
fanatical
し
group of
彼ら
villagers,
が親代
and
様
they
のお
created a
怒り
situation
が
that
ある
would
ような
incur the
状
wrath
況を
and
作り出し
enacted the disaster to make it seem like the
も
truth.
ちろん
Of course,
私は
I
笑い
wouldn't
ませんよ
laugh. That's saying a lot for Oishi. He laughs every other sentence.
私も
I've
一
wanted to
度
have
な
that
ら
line
ず
of
と
reasoning
も
more
そう
than
かです
myself.
が
However, even though it's a
南
small
沢
village with
村
a
が
population
い
of
かに
1,000
そ
people,
れを
you
一
know?
夜にして
To
抹
murder that
殺
many
す
in
る
a
なん
night
て
doesn't seem realistic
ど
for how
う
you
考
think
え
about
て
it,
も
you know?
現実的じゃないです
The gas eruption was believed to have happened close to 2 a.m., several hours before dawn. That short amount of time going around and killing all the villagers in the way they made it look like poison gas wasn't feasible. And you can't really cause volcanic eruption, you know? It's not a thing you can do.
宗教的な意味
The
が
swamp
あ
the
り
gas
ました
erupted
よ
from had some religious significance,
だと
right?
したら
That's the case. Maybe there was something set up in
沼
the
に
swamp
何
that
か
could
仕
be
掛けがあって
activated when a divine verdict was rendered.
自衛隊の発表で
According to
は
the press release,
沼が
it was
発生
declared
源
the source
調
of the
査チー
eruption.
ムとかが詳しく調べた上での発表ですこんな仕掛
Something
け
like
があ
that
っ
was
た
set
ら
up. They probably would have
見
found
つけ
it.
てる
沼そのものに仕
It
掛け
wouldn't
がある
have
とは
been in
言
the
いませ
swamp
んよ
itself,
ほ
though,
ら
right? Come to think of it.
聞いたこと
Haven't you ever
遠
heard
くの
about the
泉の
old
水
story
が枯
about
れ
how
た
when a faraway spring dried
裏
up,
の泉も
the
枯れ
village
た
spring dried up as well?
なんて
何です
What
か
do you
そ
mean
りゃ
by that?
水源っての
Many
は
waterways are connected by
地下水脈
underground
と沼
aquifers.
や
You know?
泉を
Swamps and springs are
それ
parts that
が
manage to
非
pop
常
out
に
above
露
the
出した
surface.
部分にす
つまり
So what you're saying
赤
is,
坂さんが言
the
いたい
swamp
の
is
は
connected to another swamp or
そ
spring.
れに
And
何
if
らか
something
の
villagers
仕掛けを
rigged
す
up
る
a long time ago that
鬼が
changes
吹き
the
沼の
pressure of
圧
the
力
swamp
と
and
かって
causes
や
it
つ
to
と
erupt with
か
poison gas.
そういう話で
Is
す
that
よ
what you're getting
ね
at? He laughed pretty heartily, commending the fact that youngins have a nice, flexible way of thinking. This is the former detective in him, of course. Even though it was a hypothesis that didn't come up, he still had the presence of mind to not dismiss it right away.
面白い
That's an
話
interesting
です
theory.
それが
That
立
proves
証
to
で
be
きた
true
ら
that it would
日
be
本の犯罪
unprecedentedly
史始
the
まって以
largest
来の
mass
空
murder
前
in
規
the
模の
history
大
of
量殺
Japan.
人ってこと
南沢
This
村の封
quarantine
鎖が
is
解除
lifted.
され
I think it should be
大石
investigated.
様
Wishi, do you still have any
県警には
connections
ま
with
だ
the
影響力
prefectural
は
office?
そこそこに
Somewhat.
柔道部
I'm
の
an
名誉
honorary
顧問で
advisor
す
for
から
their
ね
judo, so even
今
now I
でも
pop by
夏
to
の合
some
宿や
training
なんかに
camp, you know?
南沢村の封
I
鎖
don't know
解
when
除
the
が
quarantine will
い
be
つにな
lifted,
るかわ
but
かりません
let
が
me help investigate,
ぜひ
please.
調べ
わかりました
I got
大
it.
石さんはこ
Wishi,
の
how do you feel about the string of deaths?
南沢村連
当時の署内
At
は
the time, the villagers put
村
pressure
人の
on the
圧力
situation.
連続事件は存在しないというのが当事件は個々
That
で
each case was
ま
separate
た
and each
そ
had
れ
its
ぞ
own
バカな
resolution. But that couldn't be.
裏の信仰に
Even
基
though it was
づいて
blatantly
連
obvious
続
they
事
were
件があ
connected.
ることは
Based
明
on
白な
the
のだ。
voters' religious beliefs, they just let it all go.
赤坂さん
Agasaka. We can only say that
そり
now
ゃ
because the
5年も
grandiose
続
way
い
things
て
ended.
あの当時
At the
は
time, the
偶
quintessence
然の事件が
just
偶然
happened
に
to
も
occur.
私は起きないといい
Just
な
it would be nice if nothing
なん
happened
て
this
感
year
じだ
kind
っ
of
たん
feels
で
it,
す
you know?
偶然なものか。
Coincidence?
長女は
The
初め
girl
から
predicted everything from the beginning.
全て
少女
フルで理解
We
あの子
confirmed
は
it. That shot warned me about all the incidents that would
私
happen
にその
afterwards.
後の事件を
赤坂さん
Agasaka-san, is that
はい
true?
こ
Yeah.
の子は言ったん
The
で
girl
す
said as much.
翌年
That the next year the damn four would
ダ
be
ムの
killed.
原
Of
爆の
course,
みに
remember.
とどま
Not
ら
only
ず
that, she warned me of all the events that would
その
transpire
後
in the
に
following years.
赤坂さんがその
Agasaka,
話
when
を
she
聞い
told
た
you all that, what year was it?
私が少
Remember
女
the
と出会
girl
った
that
のは
was investigating the kidnapping incident?
誘
So
拐
June
事件
of
バラ
'78,
バラ殺
a year
人
before the dismemberment.
うん
Wrinkles formed between his eyebrows as he closed his eyes and began to digest what I told him.
赤坂さん
Agasaka-san,
フルで理
if you're
科が
wrong about or know the future
神
through
通
divine
力で未
medium,
来が
this
わ
is getting pretty ridiculous.
今さら
If you're just trying to
私
shock
を
me, I'm gonna be
驚か
really
せる
angry,
た
you
め
know?
私は
I'm speaking the truth.
連続開始事
That
件
the
は
script behind the chain was written a year before
発
it
生
started.
そしてその予
Just
告
as
の通り
predicted, Rika was killed.
私は初め
At first, I thought she meant that she'd be
大
killed
災
due to
でも
disaster. However, now they know her death wasn't due to
彼
that,
女
but
の死
in
は
terms of
災
the
害で
hands
は
of
な
a
く
murderer,
彼女は殺され
she
ると
said
言
she'd
っ
be
た
killed.
彼女は自
At that
分の
point in
死を
time, she knew more or less how her own death would occur.
具体
God,
的に
this is
あ
even
の事
more
件を知
miserable.
っ
You
ていた
never
んで
asked
す
energy, bro. Imagine being the detective, now retired, but the last thing that you were doing before you retired was investigating a string of murders that were all connected, but you just couldn't crack it, and then everybody died. And then you just talked to some coworker 2 years later, and it's like, oh yeah, those murders? Yeah, nah, some little girl told me about this bullshit a year before they started, and just had it all right, and I forgot to tell you. I'd be throwing this man to the ground, dude.
なら
Then why didn't she
フ
try to
ル
run
で理
away?
科は仮に
Even if her death
そう
was
いっ
spelled
た
out,
彼女はそれ
no,
を知
man,
り
she had
か
a
つ
grace period of years, didn't she?
逃げ出す
She
な
had
り
time to try and run
警
away.
察に
So
なぜ
yes.
抗わずに
Why'd she accept it with no
わかります。
resistance? Huh?
フルで理科は
Even though she was doted upon by
村
the
の
older
年を
folks.
両親を
After she
失っ
lost
た
her
後
parents, she
は
had no living
親類
relatives.
も
She
ゼロ
lived a
で身寄
solitary
りは
life,
な
other
く
than hanging out with some close friends.
戦う力
Might
も
have been she didn't have any power to
頼
fight
れる人
or
間も
anybody to really
彼女
rely
は
on.
自分の死に
She
対
also
して
tried signaling somebody for help
誰
with
か
her
に
death,
村と
right?
警察
You
が
know
恩
very
義
well
な
the
関
village
係じゃな
police
かっ
were
た
not
のは
amicable with one another. Like I
少
say,
なくとも
the very least I never
私
heard
の
anything
耳に
about
は
Rika seeking protection.
あるいは
Or it could be she resigned
自
herself
身
to
が
the
宗
religious
教
sacrifice.
そういうものがあったのかもしれません
はずは
No
な
way
い
that was the case. I spoke pretty decisively. At the time, she said it. She definitely said she wanted to live happily, that she wanted to spend her time surrounded by her dear friends. She hadn't given up on life, and she'd hoped to keep living. That moment, I became pretty dumbstruck.
どうしました
What's the matter?
赤坂さん
Agasaka-san? No, it's nothing. I fell into silence.
Yeah.
When she folded his arms again, murmuring in contemplation. Eventually, he stood up and headed towards the hallway to find the hostess. He yelled that he wanted a pen and paper. When Noishi, noisy even though he was just thinking, left, the room fell into a chilled silence. I stood up. I just realized I was drunk enough to be unsteady on my feet. When I stood up in the window, a beautiful yet somehow ephemeral moon drifted across the night sky. It was just now that I realized she hadn't accepted her own death. She wanted to live, you know, happily, joyously. She said it pretty clearly, but I was a fool. I hadn't asked explicitly, so I hadn't realized it. She made it clear as day that she didn't want to die. Wasn't that a cry for help? She didn't say that she wanted it, but even given that, it wasn't as though she wasn't looking for salvation. Without any family and unable to trust the police, she instead told me, without any relation to the village, just somebody away from it, she told them help me. She'd gone around, cut the phone. If I made that phone call and learned of her death, I would have fallen into despair. If I was in that state, even if she was looking for help, her cries would have fallen on deaf ears. And that's why, knowing everything, she cut the cords. She wanted time to seek help from me. I wish she just before now had lamented that one of the younger officers got mixed up in the case. He was erased because he wasn't there. I was feeling the same way. If I was there in June 1983, I could protect her. To be fair, it's very possible that the town made him stupid. I am inclined to agree. 1983 would have been 5 years since kidnapping, while raising the only daughter Yuki left me, putting all my youth and passion in my work, honing my wits and courage, wrestling with difficult cases. Nothing like my feelings during the kidnapping incident would have occurred. I wouldn't have been slow to react in a one-on-one fight. By that point, I've jumped into foreign mafia-run gambling parlors where I learned to deal with automatic weapons, and handguns. I'd grown so much that in 1983 it couldn't even been compared to how I was 5 years before. I could have saved her, you know? That's why. If I was by her side, I could have saved her life. No matter what conspiracy or foul plots you were near, I could have saved her, you know? Even though she sounded resigned, she should have been able to ask me for help, you know? I just didn't realize it. I couldn't. Just as I wouldn't have realized if I was told of Yuki's accident. I wasn't able to realize it. God, I wanted to cry. If I'd taken orders to heart, I could have prevented Yuki's accident in the first place. And I could have protected the girl to who I owe a debt from a predetermined debt. She must have been expecting that from me, you know? I learned about the disaster while watching TV in my house. To learn about that, I forgot all about Hino Hamizawa. In order to recover from the shock of her death, I removed everything about the place from my memory. What an ungrateful fucking fool I was. Even though in exchange for saving her, the girl told me a way to save Yuki, I was able to accept her gratitude. Now there we are. She hadn't died in her sleep due to a natural disaster. She was split open while she was alive, killed while suffering disgrace of having her organs torn out of her body. She must have known beforehand that on the day of that year, she'd be killed in a terrifying way. Even though it hadn't awaited her, she was all too weak. A lone girl without anybody to rely on, unable to seek help, she had to swallow her own predetermined debt and left this world cold. She said she wanted to live. I want to live! She said she just wanted to live happily. That's all she wanted. She didn't ask for anything extravagant, you know? I don't know what emoticon that's supposed to be peaky. Is it someone, like, channeling their third eye to, like, come up with random bullshit? Because this is definitely sounding like some pretty selfish nonsense at the end of the day in hindsight. Like, oh, I had infinite power in the scenario. I could have just saved everybody if I knew what I knew now. Like, he's in grief at the end of the day. Well, not as much now, but it's still like, come on, man. You're not the sole person. Spreading the mass cheeks? Ah, I see. I see it now. Wonderful. For any person that was ever born, it was the very basest of desires. She never said a peep about wanting money. She wished in somebody else's situation. She said it, you know? If all deaths were preordained, then hers was all according to plan, you know? Kikura's 10. I don't know what emotion that face is trying to convey either. You're shoving some esoteric nonsense at me, I'm not gonna lie. Higurashi's plenty esoteric itself, but I ain't the smartest, I ain't the largest bushel in the batch, let me tell you. Might have been a lone frail girl, but I don't think she would have accepted it all without putting up a fight. Must have been in some small way, some form of resistance that she mustered, you know? With what she could muster, seeking out my help as part of that. Maybe Keishi's part of that too. God damn it! I howled. I stomped the floor a little bit. Why did I become a police officer in the fucking first place? I called myself an officer if I couldn't save a single girl from misfortune that was waiting. It's because there was so much going on at the time, I couldn't process the fact she was asking for help. Yeah, that's right, I was fucking green. If I was in that situation now, I would have been able to help her. It's fucking green. We get a sprite of Akaseka and he's turned into Shrek. But it was already all over. Even if I wanted to sell the regrets she left behind, Hinamizawa was quarantined still. Most people involved were dead. The few that remained spread around the country. They couldn't be traced. The stage of that tragedy was off limits as well. Oh, that is your 10th emote? Goodness gracious. I should drop a follow on your end then. Oh, that's pretty chill. The police investigation was put on hold, the case being buried in the sands of time. Just like how I wouldn't have known unless I wish you'd asked me about it.
Akasaka-san,
Akasaka,
大丈夫
are
です
you
か
okay? At some point he had returned with that notebook in hand. Until I saw the expression on his face, I didn't realize I was in tears. I never realized. She was asking for help.
赤坂さん、
Akasaka-san,
落ち着いてください。
calm down. It's too late. She was killed. It was such an atrocious manner. She was counting on me, but I couldn't save her. I couldn't save her, damn it.
村人と良好な関係を築かなかった私にも責任がフルでリカが私にそれを打ち明けてくれたなら彼女が打ち明けに足る信頼を築けなかった後悔しています。
That's something I regret as well. When he said the word trust, it weighed on me even more. She gave me her trust, you know? She trusted me. Meaning that even though she thought that I wouldn't be able to ward off the fate of her foreseen death, you know? She believed in me. I cried. Fell on my hands and knees. I began to bawl. Bawl. He fell to his hands and knees and a basketball materialized out of the place. He whips a triple-double. Uishi falls to his knees. His ankle's broken. Eventually, Uishi spoke quietly. That's a foul.
赤坂さん、
Akasaka-san.
悔しいですか
Does it upset you? It does!
ならば、フルでリカの仇を取るに値する方法が
そんな方法があるんですか
Is there a way to do it? He showed me a pen and
フ
notebook.
ルでリカの死を悼むために
We had to find out the truth.
そうです
Yes, and not just
大
Riku.
勢が
Lots
死
of
に
people
まし
died,
た
you
彼
know.
らの無念は計り知れませんでも彼ら
But
の
the
死
rest
は
were left unsettled
あの
because of the
大災
disaster.
害で
You
うや
can't
む
even
やにされ
investigate, as their
今
memory
は
fades
操作
to
すらされる
oblivion.
ことなく大勢死んだ
Many people
林
died.
さんも
The
殺さ
old
れた
man was killed.
クマ
Everyone
ちゃん
was
も消さ
erased.
れた
Everyone was
な
a
のに
victim.
警察は捜査
We
も
just
でき
can't
ない
even
で
investigate. What do you mean she knew but didn't tell the police? Yeah, Akaseka is the police. Well, I guess he's technically special affairs or whatever. He's like FBI equivalent, kinda. But Yeah, she fucking told someone. It's just that that dude was an idiot whose wife just died, so he didn't do jack fucking shit. Who's gonna take care of their part in regrets? He can. Akasaka-san. We find the truth. Yeah, we'll find it. I've been around every one of those research tests, and I know all the inner workings of it. You were told the truth before they happened. We can do it. But they're already dead. That's right. We can die. You were to experience it. We couldn't save her. There's some stellar voice actor. Jesus! Back off, man. Uishi grabbed me, who's a wreck, and lifted me firmly by the lapel. That's why. Damn it, you talk for that. Reveal the truth. What you say is true. All the incidents are part of the design. That's the case. How we investigate needs to change completely. I intend to spend tonight's sunrise with all the information I have. We are not going to let this case go cold. We're going to crack it wide open. Crack it open. Crack it open. Yes, we will. Some years have passed, but it's not beyond the statute of limitations. Even if it's been postponed, it's not closed. It's still going. We're gonna keep going. You're right. Let's do it, Uishi. I won't let it end like this. I'm certain. We're gonna uncover the truth. But she didn't tell Uishi how the murders kept happening? She did not, which is interesting. Well, I guess she was, Rika was friends with Mion and the crew, and the whole crew fucking hates Oishi. So I wouldn't be surprised if she fell in with that and saw Oishi as scary and maybe even like complicit. Maybe I feel like that might be a reasonable jump to make. It's not a huge jump in logic, you know. We're not crossing the stream here. We absolutely will. I demonstrated my resolve to Oishi by crying out those words, and just then, Papa. The sliding door behind me opened, and Miyuki revealed herself, sleepily rubbing her eyes. My shadow must have moved. She rushed over to me. Papa, why are you crying? It's nothing. It's nothing, Miyuki. I tried hard to smile while wiping away my tears. Even though she looked like she was going to cry herself, she extended a little hand to me. Oh, that's cute. And when she makes that gesture toward me, I saw the figure of another girl overlapping with her. And her innocent gaze and innocent expression felt frustratingly nostalgic, filled me with painful torment. I really couldn't be here because I didn't reach out to her. She burned my daughter's body and offered me to her. Might be a hallucination. You think? Maybe a convenient illusion formed from my selfish dreams. However, that was her voice. I'm certain I heard it. Rather than blaming me for my mistake, she was compassionate. Why am I crying? After all, I have something more important to do now. They are right to hate Oishi? Yeah, I mean, he's a bit of a creep. He's a weirdo. What the hell is he even doing here, you know? He doesn't belong here.
Miyuki.
Back off! Miyuki. Before you were born, Papa met a girl in Namizo. An angel? Really? Yeah, she was cute. I told her to meet you. Right, that was an impossible wish, huh? The future's already gone. Then I want to be friends with that girl. Huh? Looking forward to it. Next time you go, take me with you, alright? To Hinamizawa. Even so, there's still something I can do, you know? Of course. We'll meet her together someday. I'm sure of it. Yep. Someday, I'm sure. We'll see her again. That summer, the Higurashi cried, and Hinamizawa. Uishi and I vowed to bring the truth of the case to light, and we stood up. Everything ended in 1985. I, at least, want to apologize and search for her grave. After the autopsy, her remains were entrusted to a shrine follower, and in the future, when the area was lifted, they would be returned to her family grave. However, unsure of who took the remains, until today I couldn't even apologize. In the future, when the quarantine's lifted, all I could do was wait until whoever that person was returned them. What I could do right now was not apologize, of course. Instead, until I was able to meet her again, I'd reveal the truth and dispel regrets. Even now, sporadic eruptions of gas in the area meant that the prospect of the quarantine being lifted wasn't going to happen soon. Most likely, it seemed she had no intention of meeting me again until I found the truth. That's why the quarantine wouldn't be lifted on her. So I thought. Until the day I grasped the truth, of course. It was the following year. Uishi and I co-authored a book on the string of deaths. I decided on the title, of course. Higurashi, when they... God damn it! My hands are in the air. Ryukishi, you've done it again! You mad fucking genius. That was because for the few days I was there, the sound that I remembered most was the cries of the Higurashi. I can only wish that based on this book, those people involved could refresh their memories and bring light to a new truth. And more importantly, nothing like this will ever happen again. I wrote this in the afterword. Why
この惨劇がどうして起こされたのか、私たちだけでは真相に至ることが叶いません。どうかこれを読んだあなた、真相を解き明かしてください。それだけが私たちの願いです。
That's a pretty powerful notion, I will say. Extending that out into the future, trying to extrapolate a little bit to see if you can't get it working. This year, the quarantine still hasn't been lifted. Jesus! Yeah, no, you weren't kidding. This thing was half as long as it usually is. That was actually kind of nice. Yippee! We get a fucking tea set for this shit. Okay, so final thoughts. We have learned jack shit, baby. Our only wish. Continue waiting for the quarantine to lift, huh? All right, so we're gonna check out this tea party, but some little thoughts. That was cute. I liked what we learned. That was a neat little side story. We get a little bit of extra Rika. Hopefully we get an actual Rika episode, because we lack a Rika episode currently, to kind of fill her in. Although the next one is a Shion, huh? I think Ryukishi is full of shit. I'm inclined to agree with you. This feels a little, well, it kind of feels like you just went on a lark, and this was kind of just like a 3.5, you know? And the next one's the real episode 4. But, I mean, it's just neat to see some of the workings of the Sonozaki family, some more Oishi scenes. It's nice to see how there might be a supernatural connection or some foreshadowing based on what Rika said about her own death and about how everything's scripted. It's kind of just like it's an arrow to kind of guide you forward, you know? It's gonna tinge how you view episode 5, but it itself lacks content, which is fine. Let's check out the tea party. All cast review sesh. Beep, beep. It's not an exception.
この度は日暮らしのないやいやなんだかんだと言いましてしかも渋いジャズ調なテーマ曲まで追加。これで笑いなきゃどこで笑いって言うんですかねな。
はそろそろ出過ぎなのですよ。
これどういう意味ですか、リカ。
言葉通りの意味じゃい。あれだけ出番があってここまで出張ろうとは身の程をわきまえないにも程がございます。今回はメインヒロインはリカちゃん以外みんな出番ほとんどなかったからね。
今回は箸休め的なシナリオだからとは聞いてたけど、ここまでメイン勢がないがしろにされるとは思っ。
ミオンさんはまだいい方多少は登場していましたよ。私とレナさんなんか気配も出てきませんでしょ。レナはジャケットにも登場してますですからまだマシなのですよ。ということはつまり何ですね。私だけが一人のけ者で出番なしということなんでございますの。
Okay, I'm very excited to see what bullshit 6 has in store for me that would make you quit after sitting through the nonsense that was 2 a lot of the time.
ミパー私だけこの扱いかわいそうかわいそう。きっとだんだん扱いが悪くなって最後にそんなのあんまりですわ。そんなさとこちゃんのことが好きな人だって大勢いるんだもん。
I am Sadako's biggest fan. I would wear a Sadako t-shirt. I'll say it now. If someone out there is willing to give me like an Amazon link to a $20 just t-shirt of Sadako with like just her stupid ass face printed on it, I'd buy it. Right then and there. They won't treat you that horribly, okay? I don't like being treated like this. I think you'll have lots of appearances next time. Next time, alright? So cheer up, okay? But
今回の
I'd
シ
heard
ナ
that
リオ
this
は
scenario is
お
supposed
ま
to be
け
somewhat
的
of
な
a
シナリ
bonus
オ。
story.
実際ど
But is
う
it
よ。
really?
なんだか
I think
随分
things kinda got
話が
complicated.
ややこしくなったように。
僕には
It's
難
very
しく
difficult for me
て
to understand.
よくわかんないお話。
Yeah,
何しろ
What I
信
found the
じ
hardest
られ
part
な
was
か
that
っ
the
た
year
の
before
が
the string of
連
deaths,
続
Rika
開
knew.
始事件が起こる前の年
ってことは
Which
全
means
ての事件
all
が
the
最
incidents
初
were
か
part of
ら
someone's
予定。
scenario.
これは
That's a pretty important piece
か
of
なり大き
information,
い情報
huh?
だよ。
僕がきっと
It's probably because I'm a
巫女
shrine
なの
maiden,
で
so I knew the future for
林
divine
様のお
revelation.
告げで
Bullshit.
人間
For
犯
someone
人
like me who
説
believes
の
in theory
私
there
と
was
し
work
て
of
は
human culprits,
そ
I'd
れ
like
は
to
真っ
deny it.
先に否定
People
したい
like
ところ
episode
だ
5, but I
な。
found it rather boring for reasons I won't mention yet. We'll have to see if I agree with you. From what I've heard, people don't like 2 that much, and I really, really, really liked a lot of 2. I liked a lot of what I was experiencing, even if it got a little samey. So I might actually be able to sit through it. I might have a higher tolerance for bullshit. Which isn't exactly the biggest pro.
レナはた
I
たり
believe in the
なん
curse,
で
so that Rika, who's the living
ひなみ
incarnation
沢
of
を
the
守るお
deity,
城
could
様
have
の
divine
生まれ
power.
変わ
It's
りであ
a
るリカちゃん
possibility. I can get behind it.
そういうじ
Nope, nope, nope. Somebody thinks it was the work of man. It's an unfounded fantasy, and I won't let it stand. All the incidents were caused by people, alright? There's no curse or magic or aimbots or cheat codes.
僕は
It would be
魔
wonderful
法
if
と
I
か
could use
使え
magic,
たら
though.
素敵だと思いますのリカちゃん
If
な
it's
ら
Rika, I could go
なんと
along
な
with
く
that.
そういうのが使えてもいいかな
まあ
Well, for the people
人
who
間
believe
派
this
に
work
と
of
っては
humans, the
最後
ending
の
was a
最後
big
でとにか
revelation.
くこれ最初の事件
From
か
the
ら
first incident until
リカ
Rika
ちゃ
was
んが
killed,
殺され
everything
大災
was
害に至るま
already
で全て
scripted.
つまり
Knowing
丸
that's all
々
one
一
big
つの
incident
事件だったっ
vastly
て
increases
こ
the
とが
amount of
分かる
material
だ
you
け
can
で
hypothesize
推
with
理
it,
材
you know?
料は
レナ
I
は
think that the prophecy is proof in
この
itself
予言
that
こ
Rika
そ
has divine powers.
つまり
In other words,
ひなみ沢村
it's
に
proof
は
that there's some
不思
mysterious
議な
power
力
written
人
themselves.
間だ
I
け
think
に
it's
起
proof
こ
the
せる
incidents
事
were
件じ
the
ゃ
work
な
of
いこ
humans
とに
alone.
証明に僕は頭
The
が
inside of my head is so
こんがら
muddled,
が
I
って
don't
わ
even
か
know
ん
what
ない
the
で
fuck
す
is going on.
そうだそうだ
Oh, that's
そ
right.
れよ
More
り
importantly,
今回
that expression
リ
Rika
カ
was
ちゃん
wearing
に
this time.
なん
It
だ
was super scary, wasn't it?
み
Meep.
ー
Yeah, I was surprised too. I never thought that cute little Rika
あ
could
んな
laugh
笑
like
い
that.
方をすると
Oh,
ねちょっとさ
you know? Hey, just for a little bit, could you show us that face one more time?
嫌なこった
I
な
don't
の
want
です
to.
よ
I don't want her to do that outside of the story.
実は
What is this? A blackout?
全員動き
Nobody
変な
move.
動き
Any
をし
weird
ました
movements, you'll come face to face with synchronized Gatling guns, home
誘
uses,
導ミ
and
サ
cut
イ
up by
ル
laser
です
sabers.
これは
Sadako,
何の
what
学
the hell is going on?
出番なし軍
We're
団
now starting the after party for everyone who didn't have an appearance. Right.
なんだか
Thanks
素
for that
敵な
wonderful
トーク
introduction.
改めま
Hello
して
again, everyone.
いやーまさか
Oh, I didn't think I'd have an appearance here of all
思わぬ
places.
出
I'm
番の
delighted.
さとこちゃん
Sadako,
ありが
thank
とう
you. Whoa, hello everyone. That's a kya. What the fuck?
あらあら
Oh my, didn't I warn you not to move?
いいと
竜宮さん
Ryugu, you
王
okay?
女
Ojo, you didn't have to go
こ
this
こま
far.
でやらなくて
Was there actually fucking lasers and shit?
出番がなかった
The grudge of someone not making an appearance is a terrible thing.
本編の分
Sadako had
ま
lots of appearances
で
in
佐
the
藤
main
が大
scenario.
活躍なのです
出番な
The
し
grudge
の
of somebody not
恨み
making
って
an appearance, huh? Damn, I wish you
い
was
つの間
able
に
to
こ
set
れ
this
だけ
many
のトラッ
traps.
プを
Oh, I hated this shit? How can you hate the tea parties? It's just the characters being able to fuck around and theorize. Like, I think that every story, or every mystery story at least, should have something like this. Where there's a little break in the middle where the characters can step outside and kind of just review all the information for you. And it's okay if it's a little bit lighter toned, you know? I actually really appreciate this. It's like a little 4 coma at the halfway point of your anime episode. And hey, I will never complain about more Sadaka.
ここがお疲
Maybe
れ様
that when
会
this
会
place was
場に
selected as
選
a
ばれ
venue for the after party, at that point my traps are already set, huh? Oh,
そうか
oh, I
あ
know.
んたの
There's
後ろ
somebody
で糸を
behind
引い
you
ている
pulling
や
the
ついるで
strings.
しょ
There is, isn't there? Come out. Shion. Uh-huh. Called it. That's my goat right there. Shion might be my favorite character outside of the main cast. I fucking adore Shion and all of her fucking bullshit. She is great.
あらら
Hello, hello, my sister. How are you doing? Oh, Shishan, hello.
同じ罠
I
に
feel sorry for her falling for the same trap
かわい
twice.
そうかわい
いや
I thought it was you,
そんな
Shion.
逃げに
No, you
し
get
や
to
が
be
っ
the
た
main
シナリオ
character
まであ
today.
る
This
の
is
に
how you
あんた
behave.
はやってく
Now
れるじゃ
you've
ない
gone
の
and done it. This one specifically? Yeah, it feels like it's the same amount of long-winded, even though there's not actually a lot to theorize on, and they already basically said all their theorization already, so they're kind of just filling it with a bunch of bullshit that doesn't have to be there. But I myself have a pretty high tolerance for anime bullshit. I'm getting a little bit of
大
enjoyment
当
out of this.
編前の折
Even
り
if it's only
返
the
しをお
blue,
まけし
even
ない
if
よ
it's
とは
only
ね
the bonus before the answers, I
Well,
can't let my
yeah,
sister
give
involve
me
me
the
appearances, you know?
bow.
I'm not that
Ma-
generous. Well,
そんなわ
in
け
any
で
case, How does that Sonic go? Start a little something, something. Shion, what is it that you
あん
want?
た
Let's just say I'm securing myself some safety. The other day, for some reason, you were getting more votes in the popularity. Yep. In the first half of the Wasanagashi, there were people getting infatuated with Michan. When your malicious side made its appearance, all the players started noticing my charm. Sadako also earned a good reputation during the Tatsurugo. Reina and Rika have a strong baseline. Your popularity has long since faded away. That's why. Whoopsie daisies. I thought I'd take the time now to crush you and Sadako. We were getting too many votes for my company. So I came up with a pretty elaborate plan. Huh? Shion, what'd you say? You're gonna crush me as well? You're a little slow to notice, ain't you, shorty? Here you go. What? And Sadako has been home run batted. Goodbye, the regulars. Hello to all the irregular folk. All the main characters are done for. Shion, don't have to go that far, you know. Now, Shiro. It's interesting, so let's let it be, alright? The number of appearances for both of us is gonna go up, you know. Really? Jiro, do you not like being by my side? That's not true. Chie-sensei, does Shion pay you off too? I'm sorry, Ryugu. Shion said she would make me a new segment called Teach Me Chie-sensei, starting for the next scenario. I'd be down for it. Well then, who should I dispose of next? Maybe Sadako, since she helped me set it up. I won't allow that. Do we get us? Oh no, it's Irie. Hi, Irie. Coach. You seem somehow reliable for once. I, Kyosuke Irie, shall not allow any aggression against Sadako. May also just be a sporting character, but you can't persuade me so easily. Oh, then you're saying you want to withdraw from being the lead in documentary Sadako's maid training dress-up chapter that we planned on filming after this? Shion, I shall follow you to the depths of hell. He's so easy. He's like Lewis in Suits, where he has like 2 things that you can do to stroke his ego and he will die for you. That was quick. Well then, with this I'm holding all the cards. Even in this after party scene too, I'll have everything proceed as I see fit. We're missing somebody, ain't we? Shion! Ryugu isn't here. She escaped at some point. There she is. Ryugu, didn't I just tell you you shouldn't move? Reina, I won't do anything to hurt you, but it's easier if you don't resist, alright? I'm sorry, but this is really bizarre, alright? What are you trying to do? The Mekishi script? I see you're planning to secure your role before your lines get cut. This is futile. That's a cute way to drop the next chapter name. Reina, you should stop your pointless resistance and come along peacefully, alright? Maybe angry. Not only will you suffer, but so will my dear sister. You can't do anything like getting your hands in the script. Reina, I'm sorry, but do what they say. It's alright, don't worry. Now that we have the script, we can reverse the situation. Reverse the situation? Scheme it. Yeah. Hey! Reina, you're good at making me laugh, huh? Why don't you go ahead and try? Show me how you're gonna turn this around. You're spoiled, Shishan. If you didn't have appearances in the main scenario, you've had so much screen time during the after party. You're spoiled. When exactly you're saying I was spoiled, huh? Don't understand, Shishan. Even if it's just the after party, you still have an appearance. You appeared in the previous scenarios, too. There's somebody who resents you from the depths of hell who can't forgive you. Can't you hear it, Shishan? That's right. I understand now. I get it. Kei-chan! That's right, he never has any appearances during the after parties. There's no way he'd allow someone to monopolize themselves without him. I see. So, how is he going to appear when he's still in the studio recording lines? Let's have someone here who surpasses workload. That's just your self-centered way of thinking, Shisha. No, that's the voice word count from Akasaka's part. Chie, hold Reina back. Huh? Huh? Oh, so it's too late. It's finally your time. We get a sprite reveal. That voice, it's Kei-chan. He's supposed to be recording lines in the studio. You're right, I was told just now. Every time I get left in the studio, I get told, you can join the after party if you beat someone on the remaining word count. But I always have 2 to 3 times the script line with the other characters. It's like the sound director doesn't want to let me join the party from the get-go. That's what I thought. But finally someone overtook me. A certain character. Shion, feast your eyes on this. That's right. Now she's appearing in more scenes than the main character. So is Shion. Someone's not going to speak twice the line she's had so far. And since Shion and Mion have the same VA, that's double again! As a result, I've been excused from staying back. Meaning, Shion, it's your turn to be left behind. No, I have to speak this much for Meikishi? Let's see. Kei-chan has 500. Shion has 2,700 voice-acted lines. That's like the total for all the characters together in a normal adventure game. Further adding on Mien's lines, making a total of... I don't want to know. I don't want to know. So with that, Randy, you have my thanks. When even the moon abandons the land and shrouds in darkness, the demon lord of the darkest black, Keiichi Maibara, shall appear. I see, if it's like this, he can appear even if he doesn't have character art. There's no character art, so it's really easy on production staff. Shion, you act as though you're the main character. Tragedy, from my point of view. It's all a comedy. Seems you got a little carried away. Every after party, be it last in the studio, missing every after party meal, witness my anger, grudge, my sorrow. I shall instill it upon you all. It almost seems like he's doing a bad guy transformation. That he is. This ain't a transformation, you know, I've always been. And as of right now, this world of milk and darkness shall dance upon the palm of my hand. Till this world of darkness, there none who can oppose me. Keiichi's kind of scary. Scary. The age of the frightening Higurashi has come to an end. From here on out begins the dawn of a perverted cutesy Higurashi. What'd you say? Maibara, bring me with you. You know it, coach. Dap me up, son. First step, I'll show you. Nope. I'm skipping that line. I'm not reading that. Huh? I thought Tomitake was better than this. You know what? I entirely agree with you, Graf. I regret everything I've said so far. Ryukishi, you're a sad sack son of a bitch. Especially from the main scenario. So you've got to be fucking kidding. Next start. That's a change situation at all. It's turned into a different type of crisis. I can't do anything in this room. Who should I make wear what next? Maybe a nice uniform, switch, triple combo. That doesn't even work, dude. You put all those on, it's too many layers. Maibara, do the fucking best. I'm not reading this bullshit. Ire, you would be that kind of motherfucker, wouldn't you? I'm just shaking my head. I'm just gonna click through. Your stuff. Good. I feel like we're seeing eye to eye here. No. Hey, call me Doctori. Can't forget about us. Tommy and Cloud on your side. The Elite Four? The Elite Four? Are you fucking kidding me? Final. With K at their head, the evil Elite Four made the grade. With the complete darkness, the evil Lord of Darkness Black was able to reach the service world. Its magical powers were gone. In this darkness, no one can stand it. All must bow. Will the heralds be unable to escape this darkness? The forces of the deep mode? Force Mark Bears now for that for Bears now. They use the life side mess up all of us. That's great. I need more of that. By the way, school swimsuits are classic, right? Don't forget me if there's a competitive swimming circle, right? I see what I end up like this. So do something, right, Shio? It's alright, sis. Gaze the Eloder. Power is do we have such convenient elements? Rather input than Shio, so does Aki. Also, if you're expecting help with the principal, that's too bad. It's the ultimate desire of your friend. Got yourself a man, do your best is written on this nice little authorization slip right here. Of course, you won't be able to resign to cover Ikaseka. He's on a private couple's hospital vacation his wife's family set up for him yesterday. In other words, all bases are covered. You're so naive, Kei-chan. Characters that have art are able to reveal their true form of darkness. Chie. That's how it is, my Sorry, so I can't tell, but it seems like Chie's outfit is different. All those swords in her hands. They couldn't be. Any more than that, it's a secret, alright? Is it actually a story spoiler that we were about to get there? There's too much mystery. The church cannot overlook more than this. Wait a minute. There's no way. That's cheating. It's against the rules. You can't do that. You can't use the big one. Her arc drive has startup invincibility. The 7th hour, bro. Are you kidding me? Okay, I don't know what fighting game that's a reference to, but that's based as fuck. Alright, keep that in mind for the people making the Higurashi fighting game. You gotta give her an arc drive with fucking invincible startup. God damn. Oh, we're still going. Hello again. Thanks for playing Higurashi When They Cry, Himatsubushi. I think you know this, but this is a visual novel without choices. Therefore, compared to adventure-type visual novels with branching rules to take, it's close to the experience of a book or a movie. So because of that, there's an opinion out there that this shouldn't be a game, per se. If you're just watching it like a book or movie, this isn't really a game, yeah. That's why, as you know, there are mysteries referenced through the course of the experience. When you challenge those, it's more of a game. All the players have the privilege of scrutinizing this mystery-packed story from all sorts of angles. For example, forming a theory about the mysteries during the course of the story, sharing with your friends, receiving their theories in return could be fun. It is fun. I agree. In any case, the next chapter starts the answers. We've technically called it Mekishi, but answers are a sad thing. Based on what's revealed, all possibilities will become refined down to a few. Based on that logic, we think right here for the answers arc is when people can enjoy the work we enjoy the most. If by chance while you're reading this you already have the chapter at hand, enjoy hypothesizing, theorizing, and fantasizing the full before you start. That's where the real charm takes place. I agree. Sorry for saying something so impudent. There's nothing better we'd like than for you to enjoy the whole series. Well then, have a long and pleasant night. We're waiting for you in Hinamizawa. If you come and play with Reina, I'd love to go treasure hunting together. Aww. How? Yes please, and yes thank you. And that was the after party. Alright, and we are done with episode 4. I'm going to go take a piss right quick, and then we've only been streaming for 2 hours, so what I might do is see how long Mahjong Soul takes to download. If it takes a while, I will just end stream here. But I'm going to take a piss right quick, and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Dog shit tea party scene. What I need to do right now, actually, is there was a tip with a choice in it, and I picked a choice. I picked what's in the box? This one. I made a choice in this one. They added gameplay to my visual novel, and I picked a choice. So what I'm gonna do is see what the other choice is. I'm going to open the blue box this time. Have you thought about it? Yes. In the end, you chose the scholar. As soon as you chose, the other box disappeared, so you can give up on the contents. That's the rule. Now open up the box. Inside there was a stick of chewing gum. The other one had just a little caramel in it. Right now you're thinking, that's it? That's right. Contents of the red and blue were a piece of caramel and a stick of chewing gum. What the fuck? You might have thought you made the wrong choice before, but now seeing them together like this, you can't really say that either choice was the wrong one. Well, I guess everyone has their personal preference. If you prefer caramel to gum, for example, you're thinking that choosing to open the box again based on that preference. The clear choices you wanted were basically this. A selfish desire to open up both boxes and compare the contents, then pick the one most suited to you. But you see, reality is the same as this game. If you pick one, the one you didn't choose disappears. So there's no way you could check the result. If at the time, if you'd done this, or perhaps if you'd done that, then it wouldn't be hard to imagine that you could be happier, or maybe less happy, than you are right now. In the end, you only have the pleasure of approving of or being disappointed by the choice that you did make. But that's fine. After all, didn't you enjoy the thrill of making the choice? If, like now, you knew the contents of both boxes, the choice between red and blue would be a waste of fucking time. Because instead of this boring game about boxes, you could be looking at the quickly changing evening summer sky, or listening to the sound of thunder, and pondering if it's going to rain or not. That'd be more fun. Okay, that was cool. That was really neat. Okay, that was kind of awesome. Okay, we're going to exit this right quick, and we are going to see what's up. I thought that tip thing was really cool. And it's interesting what they have to speak about choices, you know? Because at the end of the day, that is true. That's all you really can do. It isn't even showing me a viewer count right now, which is very strange. It almost makes me think that I've disconnected, which would be not great. No, it still says I'm live. Let me actually reload this and see if that kind of fixes itself. Because even when, I mean, I should count as my own viewer, you know? What can you do? Okay, well, I'm going to, someone is 76 now. Need to do ball this Sunday. Her friends are going, so I want you to come with. Saturday, 8 to 11. You know what? Sure. I can do that. Yeah, no, that sounds fun, actually. I have been invited to a ball. Okay, what I'm going to do. Ball. It's semi-formal. Lemon shirt and khakis work. Not a huge deal. Wait, what is this server tag? That's a private. Alright. Yeah, this is interesting. I'll set up for this ball. While I do that, I am going to open up Steam and see if I can snag... Oh, Dispatch is out. I saw the trailer for this in the Game Awards, I think. It actually seemed pretty interesting. Mahjong Soul is free. Okay, I knew that. Okay. Classic Mahjong gameplay. Alright, people. Let's see. How long is this going to take to download? 3 gigs? That's actually not too terrible. I think that we can do that and just, like, hang out for a bit. Like, let's see. It says it's going to take 15 minutes? 10 minutes? Okay, yeah, no, we're playing some fucking Mahjong, bitch. Okay. If that's the case, let me go and change my stream title right quick. And we will we'll play some Mahjong in a second. Oh, that will be great. So, I'm going to run an ad break right quick, and during that time, I'm going to change all my shit. So, have fun. Playing some Mahjong Soul. Never played Mahjong in my goddamned life, so this should be fun. We are gaming, and let's see. Mahjong has 105 viewers. Interesting. Okay, still ad time, which is good. But the stream episode is uploaded. Climax of Night with... I thought that was Joker. Nah, that's some motherfucker from Melty. Not a huge Melty guy. Need to... Higu episode is over. I'm downloading Mahjong Soul. Is Mahjong fire? I've heard really, really good things about Mahjong, I will say. Okay, we got 5 minutes on this. So what I'm going to do is, I should put some music on, but if I put this music on, it will demonetize this when it goes to YouTube. And it will mute it in certain countries, which is not good. So if anybody has recommendations for ways that I can get music that's royalty-free and won't kill my fucking... won't kill my fucking YouTube series, I would appreciate it. I've got nothing, personally. We've got jack bloody shit. My average stream bit rate is too high? Yeah, I know. It's because I'm downloading fucking Mahjong Soul. It's gonna take another 5 minutes. I probably shouldn't be doing that on stream. My internet's good, but it's not amazing at the end of the day. I can press this button every 7 minutes? That's kind of fire, actually. That's kind of awesome. Alright, let's see what these people have to say about Mahjong. No, lol, it's like... Damn! Blood is spiffy. Nah, I got some stuff flying around. Buy the house tomorrow. Didn't bring any to the dorms. Yeah, I'm down for that. Oh, I gotta hit up my family then and see if I can get a ride home for tomorrow. You know what? While we're waiting on this, how about we start up on some doles? Okay, fine. You know what? We'll do the music, and we will take a bet that if I put it on quiet, it'll still come through, but it won't be enough to get detected. Here's hoping. I love the Deftones so fucking much. They're kind of great. Alright, let's open up this Wordle right quick. Everything's gonna take a second, just because I'm doing this bullshit. I like to start with the do. Gets a lot of vowels out of the way. Audio does the same thing, but I like getting E out of the way rather than O. Okay. So what if it's drip? No, that's not a word. Drift, maybe? Oh, really? Okay. Drill. Okay! I might be the fucking GOAT. I might be the best to ever do it. That's kind of fire. Man, I love getting an easy Wordle. That feels good. Doggy, ducky, birdie. Okay, so if something's dandy, swell, fine, and stone, birdie, go, pot, puck, mixed? Nah. Okay, that's bait then. Dandy. I'm going to assume that this is bait, but we will give it a shot. Yeah, it's bait. It's good to see. Let's see. Maybe if something's prize is the other one. Nah, it's one away. I don't know enough old-timey words for things being good. Maybe pot or puck? Everything's ducky? Ah. Everything's mixed? Not really. Everything's ball, ball, ball. You know, I'm just not going to get it. Let's see what it is. Everything's swag. Ducky means fucking fine? Really? Kitty does not mean fucking winnings. You'll have to forgive me on that one. That's some fucking bullshit. I will not see anything on it. Okay, we got a minute and 10 left on our Mahjong Soul. Oh, they're talking about British elections here. Let's see who I talk to about Mahjong Soul. Brave. For the first time. If you want to backseat some Mahjong gameplay. I think I'd be an amazing Mahjong variety streamer. Alright, we got 30 seconds left. Get hype, people. Mahjong time. I would never do hookup. They're talking about the ethics of hookups. I don't care. I'm outside this debate. Which feels pretty good, I will say. I should do some more duels while I'm at it. You know what? Mahjong's going to be opening up in a second. We can do the Scrandle right quick. It's Thursday, so we actually get some good ones. Let's see. Bacon roll hot dog. It's the hot dog for sure. Look at this shit, dude. This looks amazing. It's huge, too. This bacon roll looks dog shit. Alright, let's see. That was just a bonus round. This cheese pizza looks fucking atrocious. It's gotta be the pork gravy roll. Oh, that's $13. Okay, yeah, that's fair. That's on me. Chocolate croissant or sausage and chips. That sausage is not a sausage. That shit looks awful. But this chocolate croissant doesn't look great either. This isn't even, like, fucking curved. This is more food. Damn! I'm having a bad day today. Sausage and flatbread. Look at this shit! Oh my god. That is hilarious. Okay. Hot dog with onion. Is the onion in the room with us? It is not the mystery scran. What the fuck am I looking at? That is just like a slab of meat, like straight from the butcher. Olympic burger and fries with the drink. You can't even see the fucking burger. Okay, this is just bad camera work. It's probably better than the fucking Zero Skinny. What can you do? 2 herring. Oh my god. Oh my god. What the fuck am I looking at? The 50-cent ice cream sandwich. But it's just a piece of bread with ice cream in the middle. Oh my god. It's gonna be a Zero Skinny. Oh my god. That's amazing. I want to fucking roll. Pizza? No, it's not. That shit is not edible. I didn't even look at the other one. Chicken with caramelized onion? That does not look terrible. This looks pretty good. I'd eat it. I don't know what it is, but I would eat it. A simple sausage or a veggie burger. People are unfairly biased against veggie burgers. Yep. Okay, after our bit of a slip up, we warmed up and we got that shit fucking set. Better than the community average by a long shot. Big fan of that. Okay, Mahjong Soul is done. Let us play Mahjong. I've never played Mahjong in my goddamn life. I will full screen this if you don't mind. Now to take our place beyond. Download all resources is an extra gig? Sure, go ahead. It's gone pretty quick though. Who are these anime girls and why aren't they playing Mahjong? Okay, they're playing Mahjong. They're like attacking each other. I'm just gonna get a feel for the cast. There's like 3 Mahjong tiles here. They're perusing them. Some little girl with... That's a cute little cat design. That's kind of nice, actually. Just playing Mahjong. You know, I guess I shouldn't be so surprised everything's Mahjong themed. This is a girl prophesizing the end of the world. What does this have to do with Mahjong, bro? What the fuck? Does this girl sizing the end of the world have to do with Mahjong? This is fucked up. Says of Life's Reborn. Alright. Yeah, this is taking a second, so we can definitely spend some time. I assume there will be a little ding when it's done. We can do some other stuff. The duels, please and thank you. And I almost opened up my piracy website, which doesn't even work anymore. Long have we fought for these lands. What the hell is the Rogul? Emoji Dungeon Crawler roguelike? You'll have to fucking forgive me here. What I think I will do is do the wanted. Find the wanted character among all the moving characters on screen. We can give this a shot. Let's see. Possible the target emoji is hidden. No, thank you, please. Oh no, it's just impossible from the get. So I have to find the one that appears only once. So it's not an exclamation point. It's not sushi. It's not seals. It's not ladybugs. It's not keys. It's not fish. It's not green ladybugs either. Are they introducing more? Or are they swapping? I'm just going to look at ones that collide with the bottom of the screen and wait until I see one that's different. This is an interesting little trick. Do y'all see anything that's tripping me out? Because I definitely don't. Not yet. Huh. Maybe it's something with yellow in it and it's just flying around. I'm just staring at the top of the screen right now, waiting for something different. Oh, getting it wrong as your time. Okay. Oh, I got it! There was a fucking alcohol bottle. Okay, I got a D on that. That was some bull fucking shit. Hot take. Okay, we're almost done. And yeah, no, she was prophesizing the other world. Yeah, Jazz is kind of talking around me. I'm here on the roof of the world. Not sorry. You know what I'm gonna do, chat? I'm gonna put some popcorn into the microwave. I love microwavable popcorn. This shit is delicious and delectable. We're gonna put this in for 2 minutes. Start that up, and hopefully my download will be done in a second. Stop it, Patrick. You're scaring him. What did I just say? I just love getting on people's nerves. It is a passion of mine. Yeah, if you have any suggestions for what we can do with this time, just let me know. Read a book, weave 2 baskets, rearrange product in Esperanto. Being realistic, of course. How long did it take you to draw that gag? That's a good one, I will say. I can get behind that. We can close Steam now that Mahjong's downloading. Let's see what other duels are around. I kind of wanted to do a crossword. I think you have to pay for the LA Times crossword. I'd like to do a different crossword, if you don't mind. You know I suffer, but oh baby, can you hear me more? You've got me under false pretenses. How long before you let me close? Let's see. Yeah, let's do the Atlantic. Drink at many Korean barbecue joints is, we're going to put in soju, please and thank you. Tournament? No. Issue, problem? No. Do some spitting, hawk to it? No. I'll throw a starving child is a frightful sight, a starving vampire even worse. It's not Bram Stoker, so I have no idea. Super massive. I thought I was a fool for no one, but oh baby, I'm a fool for you. You're the queen of a superficial. How long before you tell the truth? Okay, my popcorn looked like it was gonna get stuck in the microwave for a second, and in fact, it may still. I just gotta set this in the center and reset. 1, 0, 0, start. There we go. My microwave got stuck, or my popcorn. Gen Alpha slang associated with the Skrilla song, we think. 6, 7. 6, 7. Abbreviation after Madison? No idea. Policy for dreamers. Astral guide? It's not a constellation. Horoscope. It's not a horoscope, so I don't know. A wild experience? A wild ride, please and thank you. Aforementioned? No. Digital visa alternative. Nope. Organization that has your number. I don't know. Your mom? Your mom. Does not fit, unfortunately. Thank you, Paulo Pasco. You know what? These people are doing stream plugs. Maybe I can do one of these myself. Playing Mahjong. Oh, there's my popcorn done. Okay. I don't smell any burning. And it looks like it heated pretty well, even after all the nonsense. Alright, let's see if my Mahjong's done. It is! Let's log in. Send code, please and thank you. Alright. Uh-oh, no, I'm doxing my emails. You get to see my emails, no! 145308. What am I ever gonna do? Alright. Let the whole thing pass me by. There is no time to waste asking why. I'll run away with you by my side. I'll run. You must have a Yaku to declare one. Welcome to Mahjong Soul. I would love a tutorial of each Mahjong thing. Ichihime! Yeah? Oh, hi there, new player. My name is Ichihime. Never played Mahjong before. Let me teach you then, huh? I gotta click the arrow to go through? Okay. Mahjong consists of 34 different tiles. For each tile, there are 4 of them. There are 136. They belong to 5 types. There are the Mon tiles, which have this shit. There are the Pin tiles, which have the little circle. There are the So tiles, which have this bamboo-looking thing. There are the Winds, of which there are only 4. So yes, these are your main suits, and these are your royalty equivalents. Interesting. The objective of Mahjong is to win. Thank you, Ichihime. Insightful fucking information here. So how do we win? In the game, each player has 13 tiles in hand. Every turn, you draw a tile. So as it becomes 14, then you discard from your hand. As you draw and discard, your hand changes. Before explaining how to win, you have to understand 3 turns. Sequences, triplets, and pairs. First of all, we have pairs. Pairs are pairs. Triplets are 3 tiles. And sequences are 3 consecutive tiles. Look! That makes sense. Usually, when your hand consists of 4 sequences or triplets plus a pair, you're ready to win, master. Of course, in Rishi Mahjong, you must satisfy some other conditions that we will cover later. Okay. 4 sequences or triplets and a pair. BS. Of course, your hand consists of 13 tiles. You aren't streaming the whole screen? What do you mean I'm not streaming the whole screen? Motherfucker! Thank you so much. I was doing... Yes, please. I was doing, I'm gonna keep this open so I can read your shit. I was doing a, this Sunday for NC State Esports, I was doing the production for their stream for League of Legends. So because I did that, I changed up a bunch of my audio and visual settings, which means that I need to see the video. Yes. God damn it! I have to end the stream to change my aspect ratio. Okay. Yep. Also, okay. I'm gonna wait to end the stream for just a second, then. You better not be bullying me on Nausea. I am much softer than the game sounds. Let me fix that now before I do anything else. This is quitting the— God damn it. I have to get through the tutorial to get anything else done. Much softer than the game sound. I appreciate you letting me know. I have to keep my mic volume low because otherwise it'll be an echo in my mind. But I can definitely turn down the game volume when I actually get in. So let me end stream, change my aspect ratio back to normal. I have an ultra wide, so it kind of fucks with it, and then I'll be right back.